here, they feel like they've been rewarded already. Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Sunday, January 21st, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $ORION-NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the NFC Divisional Playoffs. My Tampa Bay Buccaneers, go Bucks, versus the Detroit Lions, #OnePride. This is going to be great, and this is going to be for an opportunity to get to the NFC Championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. I know Tampa is going to be a huge underdog in this game, but you never know. Like I said, there typically is going to be one upset, right? One, once we get to this divisional round, when it's wild card weekend, usually you'll have a couple upsets. But as we get further and further along into the playoff journey, there usually is less and less upsets. Once you get to the AFC NFC Championship game, typically that favored team or that home team wins 90% of the time. So if that is true, the Baltimore Ravens should have won their game. They did. The San Francisco 49ers, it took a late drive by Brock Purdy and a late pick by Jordan Love, but the Packers were very, very hot going into that game as a 9-8 team like the Tampa Bay Bucks. And if things would have maybe balanced out a little bit better, each kicker, Moody, as well as Green Bay's kicker, both missed a kick, and that definitely hurt them. But the Packers played well. So we got the Ravens in the AFC Championship game, which we assume they would. They're the number one team in the AFC and in the NFL. Right? And we got the number one team in the NFC, the San Francisco 49ers. So most people are going to be picking the Detroit Lions to win this game, which they should. They've had a great year. Their defense is a little suspect, but we already know Jared Goff in the offense, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta. And there is a reason why I stacked in fantasy this year a lot of heavy Bucks and a lot of heavy Lions, and here we are. So, but we already know besides Aiden Hutchinson, the Lions defense is a little thin, and there are going to be some, wiggle room to be able to see if we can get Mike Evans, Godwin, Rachaad White going. And if we can get them going and we can get a couple splash plays on special teams or defense, this game may be a little bit closer than people think. It should be somewhere between most likely 3 and 7 points when it's all said and done. And I'm just hoping the Bucks can find a way. But if we don't, like I said, it's not going to hurt my feelings. I mean, Detroit has been that lovable loser for many, many years. They ended up winning their first playoff game in 30 years last week. So, with the Lions, I mean, do they have a legitimate shot against the Niners? Probably not. If Tampa wins, do they have a legitimate shot against the Niners? Probably not. But again, we have to be able to duke it out to see who's going to go. And I would assume 95% of the country is going to be going for the Lions. And I got to be that underdog that I am and hope that somehow, some way, the only team to make the playoffs in 4 consecutive years, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, can hone in a little Bruce Arians, hone in a little Monty Kiffin, hone in a little John Gruden, hone in a little bit of John Lynch, Rondé Barber, Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp, Simeon Rice, and Mike Allstott, and we can find a way to maybe somehow, some way win this game by 3 points. But that would take a huge defensive effort, and we also have to be able to move the ball effectively. Detroit ended up going to Tampa Bay in the regular season when Tampa wore the creamsicle oranges and they beat our ass. So we are trying to get a little bit of payback, and I can't wait to see what happens in this matchup. And I feel that this matchup, and then with the Kansas City Chiefs, which I'm also doing, versus the Buffalo Bills, this is where you might see an upset. There is a chance that Tampa can win this game, and there's also a chance that Kansas City wins on the road. I know a lot of people are rooting for Buffalo to get the job done. They've always played kind of second fiddle, to Kansas City, but this is the first time Kansas City has to go on the road. So I think Buffalo has a very good chance to win that game, and I know a lot of people are rooting for them. So if that's the case, and if Buffalo takes care of business at home, even with the shaky defense, then that would mean if there's going to be one upset, that it might be in this game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Detroit Lions. I hope everyone is having a fantastic Sunday. I'm ready to go. Let's go. And shout out to my girl, Zini Panini, when she went to see the Philadelphia Eagles at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. She ended up getting me a keychain and this beautiful shirt that I've rocked for the very first time. So I figured instead of rocking my Devin White or my Levante David or my Derek Brooks, I figured I would double up not only with the NWSF chain, but this beautiful shirt. And it's crazy that t-shirts are going for $45 now, for sports shirts, wrestling shirts. And it's not only when you actually go to the stadium in general, but it's comfortable. It feels good. And I'm ready to go. Shout out to Zini Panini. I love you and I appreciate you. And it's the actual sideline fit of the players, which is pretty fucking cool. I'm always going to be looking to trying to rock the gear that the players and the coaches are wearing. So obviously, I got the beanie, I got the hard hat, I got all the goods here. And your boy is ready. Gloves from the 2012 season. I believe these are like 11 years old, still holding up. Let's go. I'm ready. And again, we don't have any expectations. We're playing loose. We're going to be playing free. No one expected anything out of the Tampa Bay Bucks this season. And hopefully we can end up being competitive even if we end up losing the game. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Air starting us out with the $10 dono. I appreciate you very, very much. Before the stream, stacks on stacks, racks on racks. How about a little Cactus Jack? Bang, bang. Appreciate you. $10 holla. 90 to go to hit our goal. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Appreciate you, Air. Bucks, Rays, Bolts. Hype. I'm hyped, baby. Let's go. And I haven't worn the NWSF chain in a minute. Let's go. Renee Cruz. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Hey, you guys played fantastic. All the haters, on Brock Purdy. Hey, they can pretty much be quiet now, because like I said, Brock Purdy might be Mr. Irrelevant, but he's better than Jimmy G. He is better than Colin Kaepernick. And don't be surprised if the Niners end up winning the Super Bowl. I mean, it looks like we're going to end up getting a Ravens-Niners Super Bowl, but we still got two more teams to figure out who they're going to play. Is it going to be the Bucks or the Lions against the San Francisco 49ers? The Niners will be heavily favored. Or are we going to get the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills? Will it be Buffalo playing the Baltimore Ravens? I think that would be a pretty good matchup, even though the Bills defense is very suspect like the Lions. And then the Kansas City Chiefs, which have a top 5, sometimes a top 3 defense. But as we know, that offense doesn't look right with Patrick Mahomes. We know Isaiah Pacheco has been fired. He's been the best piece beside Rashee Rice. Those have been the top 2. Travis Kelce, instead of being the 1, maybe is the 3rd option now. But they can still find a way. But I think a lot of people are kind of feeling for Buffalo. Even with the suspect defense, they're at home. They're going to feed off that emotion. So don't be surprised if the Buffalo Bills squeak by the Kansas City Chiefs. That game could be very, very close. That game could come down to whoever has the ball last, just like in this game as well. So I can't wait to see what happens in this matchup and to see if we get one underdog on the road winning, or if we end up getting both, or if we get one underdog in Tampa and then maybe a team that people are rooting for, like in the Buffalo Bills, for getting their hearts ripped out year in and year out by the Kansas City Chiefs. And my gut kind of tells me that Buffalo is going to win that game. This one is a little bit harder to predict. Most people, again, Lions, and I get that, but it all depends on how Tampa comes out. And if they come out, in a fury and take an early lead, even if it's something small like 10-0, that could be enough to gain the momentum moving forward. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Congratulations, Renee. That game was awesome last night. Mike in the building. What's good? How are you? Let's go, baby. Matt's in the building. Let's go. Hey, you already know who it is. It's your boy. I'm in the building. $10. Let's get to a hundo. Let's go, baby. Matt in the building. Hey, I appreciate you very, very much. And again, to be loyal to the soil like you have been. We both love the Ducks, and I'm bringing you on. You got the mod status. Now you're pretty much, the assistant, to the lead mod. And anytime there's any issues, you're going to be the guy. So like I said, I really do appreciate you and all the hard work, all the loyalty. And you finally listened to your boy and got a Twitter X account. And I really appreciate all that you bring to the channel very, very much. Matt Payton, lead mod today. I appreciate you. It probably won't be the last time you see Matt running shit here on the channel for us as well if Sarah is building. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I'm feeling good. We should be able to play loose. We lost to them with the creamsicles. We're going to play easy breezy cover girl. It ain't going to be all peaches and cream. And again, if our defense and our special teams can outplay the Lions defense and special teams, that's going to get the game a little bit closer. We know that the Lions defense is great with Jared Goff and the Goffense, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta. I should know in fantasy, who did I have? I got David Montgomery in the draft. I drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown. I picked up Sam Laporta. So I understand how good this Lions team was even before the season started. And then I also had Mike Evans and Rachaad White. So your boy is smart. I understand what talent is, and I'm feeling pretty good today. And even if the Bucs lose, I would be very shocked if they lose by more than 10. And I'm hoping it ends up being a game that's decided by a field goal at the end of the gang. Let's go, baby. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to pick us. You have to realize, bro, we're 9-8. And who is hotter between the Bucs or the Packers? It looked like the Packers may have been a little bit hotter than us. And they only lost by 3, but they ended up having a chance to win late at the game. So, we'll have to see what we can do. And the one thing that's going to benefit us is that the Lions defense is suspect, but they're going to be at home with that crowd behind them. So any type of miscues they may have, that crowd will lift them emotionally, spiritually, and we just have to be able to find a way to punch back. Let's go, baby. Hey, it's okay. It's okay if people are rooting for the Lions. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Like I said, 99% of the country is rooting for the Lions. And there's a lot of Tampa fans that are being realistic, knowing that, yeah, we're the underdog. Yeah, we understand that. But Baker Mayfield has earned his right to be our quarterback moving forward. I still want to be able to get a Bo Nix or a Michael Penix Jr. or someone like that either this year, or maybe look for an Arch Manning or a Quinn Ewers or someone like Dylan Gabriel next year, where I want to have someone compete with Baker. But Baker has actually shined, if you actually look at his statistics, through the playoffs as well as moving forward. So I like what I see. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. Let's go. Baker, we need you to bake, baby. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. Baker Mayfield stats this season, including the playoffs: 64.1 completion percentage, better than I thought. 4,381 passing yards, more than I thought. 31 passing TDs and only 10 picks, including the playoffs. Hell of a lot more than I thought. 96.1 passer rating, better than I thought. 179 rushing yards and a tutty. So, Baker Mayfield is exactly what we wanted Johnny Manziel to be. And, even though I don't have Johnny, we ended up drafting Mike Evans in that draft, thank God. But we can live vicariously through Baker Mayfield. And obviously with those Johnny Football amazing games at A&M with Mike Evans, instead of Johnny Football throwing to Mike Evans, I got my guy Bake, and I can't wait to see what happens. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah, Nick's to the Saints, Nick's to Denver, Nick's to the Bucs. I mean, I'll take him, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Let's go, baby. Shout out to everybody in the room. I appreciate you very, very much. Let's go, and we got spinning logos for both teams. I'm going to get the scoreboard here situated. A little bit of an early start for us. I woke up early and took Paisley for a long walk, and hopefully we'll get some people coming in here to show some love, or to come in here and, to talk shit and start hating, whatever way that they want to go. I mean, especially I'm like the only one that represents the Bucs on YouTube, so come through. Let's go, baby. Tampa's about to kick off, and here we go. Go Bucs. But the Lions are a fun team. It's not, like I said, if it was anybody but the Bucs, playing the Lions, of course, most people are going to be rooting for them, as they should be. Their offense is amazing. And if you really think about it, besides the Niners, who's got a better starting lineup than the Lions as far as offensive line, tight end, wide receivers, and running backs, including the quarterback? And they got my guy, Penei Sewell, Go Ducks, on the line. All right, here we go. Let's go, baby. Here we go, shotgun set. Jared Goff, pump fake, get his ass. Passes high. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Odin's son in the building. What's good? Let's go. Second down and 10. And like I said, games are won with defense. Defense wins games. Defense wins championships. And if Tampa's D steps up, we're going to have a chance. Special teams will be very crucial as well. But this should be a shootout. We should be able to get back and forth, back and forth. It should be pretty good, good scoring in this game, a little bit more entertaining than maybe the first game with the Ravens and Texans. But I think it should be very back and forth, just like with the Bills and the Chiefs that I'm doing right after this. Goff, batted down. Let's go. Reflect with a tenner. Appreciate you, man. Let's go. Thank you so much, Reflect, for coming through and showing some love. 3 and out for the Bucs. Let's go. For all the haters that said that I had no chance. Let's go. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. And I wish our defense was as good, as it was in the Tom Brady era. It clearly isn't, but we still have some dogs there that can get the job done. Devin White, Levante David, Antoine Winfield Jr., the best safety in the NFL this season. Let's go. This is our time. Let's get it, baby. Lions about to punt. That's the best start you could have asked for. I bet anybody that's watching this game wouldn't have predicted that would have been a 3 and out. I think most people thought that Detroit was going to run it down all the way for a touchdown on the first play. Go, baby. Let's go. Good tackle. Let's go. Appreciate you, Reflect. $20. Let's get to a hundo. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, Rashad. We're going to need you today. Kate Otten from the Huskies. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Shock the world. There's only going to be one upset in these last 2 games, and I figured there was only going to be one upset out of the 4. So it's either going to be Tampa, or even though Buffalo is at home, I'm not sure how many people that one feels 50-50 to me. But maybe Buffalo has the edge being at home. Play action fake. Baker. Let's go, baby. Bake it, baby. There we go, Rashad White. Getting close to the first down. Anthony Ramirez in the building. Raiders in the building. What's good? And hopefully we can get some people to show up and to be able to show out. Let's go. 22 for 36, 337 yards, 3 tutties, no picks, 119.8 rating for Baker Mayfield. Baker is baking. Hit him with that Salt Bay, baby. 2nd down and 2. And if we can run this rock with Rashad White, this is going to be big too. We got to match Gibbs and Montgomery on the other side. Bucs are confident. I wouldn't be shocked if they win this game, but it's going to be very tough. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. First down, Bucs. Don't be disrespecting Rashad White, Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, baby. Let's go. And shout out to Zini Panini for this amazing T-shirt, the sideline shirt. When she went to go see the Eagles play Tampa in Tampa, she sent me a keychain and this $45 T-shirt, which is crazy that T-shirts are $45 nowadays, but it's comfortable. I feel good, and I felt it was going to give us a little bit of luck in this game. Let's go. Let's go. First down and 10. Move the chains. Let's go, baby. All we got to do is minimize Aiden Hutchinson. Pound that rock, baby. And this is the first time in many, many years where I've had a running back that I actually like. We had Cadillac, Carnell Williams, when he was a rookie, back in like 2005, I liked him, rookie of the year, played pretty good, but his career kind of fell off with injuries. Then we had muscle hamster Doug Martin from Boise State, and I kind of liked him, but I didn't really know how long that these guys were going to last. And I had a prediction that both of them were only going to be around for a couple years, 4 or 5 years, and probably fall off, or maybe even sooner than that. So I could say with confidence, this is my favorite running back the Bucs have had since Mike Allstott and Warwick Dunn. So that's saying a whole lot. And hopefully we can get him involved early and often. Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a Detroit Lions sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Big sack lunch there. Let's go. Let's go. Amazing blitz call there by the Lions. Nice job. And then shout out to Sarah and a few others helping out, obviously, with the likes there on the Twitter. I appreciate that. Baker, 3rd down and 17. Intercepted. Damn it. Big pick by the Lions. Hit him. Wow, down the sideline. Nice job by the Detroit Lions. Daniel in the building, what's good? And we got to be able to minimize those turnovers. Like I said, we got to make sure that Baker has less than 3 picks in this game, and there's already one right there. Let's go, Bake. Ironic that C.J. Gardner-Johnson gets that pick. Throw was high. Evans, come on, bro. I know that was like kind of a lightning out of a bottle, but Evans, you got to come up with that. You can't have that be like a volleyball set, for anybody to pick it off there. And obviously the shit talking that C.J. Gardner-Johnson did about Baker Mayfield, he gets to cash in right there with that turnover. Nice job by C.J., the former Saint. That's tough. That's almost a little bit more on Mike Evans than Baker Mayfield. Yes, I know he threw it with a lot of zip, but how often does Mike Evans do that, where he just pops it up in the air for anybody to get? That's a rough turnover. Nice job by the Lions. All right, let's see what Detroit does here. Montgomery, good gain of about 4 yards. Let's go. Yeah, there's only going to be one upset. It's either going to be the Bucs, and I don't even know if you can really consider the Chiefs the underdog. I guess you can because they're on the road and their offense hasn't been as good as traditional, teams. Like what would you guys say in the room? For the people that are watching with me on Twitter/X, shout out to all of y'all and the people in the room. Who is the underdog in the Chiefs-Bills game? Is it the Chiefs because of the offense and they're on the road? Or is it the Bills because they haven't really been able to do as much and their defense isn't as good? Are we still saying that the Chiefs are the underdog in that matchup? Because to me, that matchup is the closest 50-50 matchup that we've had besides the Rams and the Lions in the previous round. Holding on the defense. Shit. But I guess if you have Kansas City as an underdog on the road and Tampa as an underdog on the road, you're only going to get one person that's going to win. So that's either going to be Tampa or Kansas City, or you may have all home teams win with Baltimore, San Fran, Detroit, and Buffalo. So I think 95% of the country is kind of leaning that way, which they should. But every once in a while, you're going to have an upset. You usually have one or two in the Super Wildcard Weekend round last week. In this round of 4 games, you typically have one. And then when you go to the AFC NFC Championship game, typically the home team wins. Goff going deep and complete. Intended tight end is Sam Laporta. Let's go. Matt, thank you so much for helping out on the Twitter side. Yeah. I like I said, for me, even though the Bills defense isn't good, it's going to be, what are we talking? Josh Allen and that offense versus the Chiefs defense. Is that the key? Not really. Well, what the real key is going to be is the Chiefs offense. Nice catch with a flag on the play. It's going to be the Chiefs offense versus the Bills defense. Which one is going to play a little bit better? And most people think that even with the Chiefs struggles, that they should be able to get points on that Buffalo defense. But I feel the energy of the crowd is going to help them there. And I got the Bills squeaking by and finally beating the Chiefs, being a team at home. Because every other opportunity the Chiefs have had has been on the road, or as a home team, excuse me. So this is like one, that Peyton Manning, Tom Brady comparison when they fought each other, and then Josh Allen, as well as going against Patrick Mahomes and Schefter, and a few people have brought up the graphic on social media, and it took, into his 6th or 7th year, and many, many games for Peyton Manning to finally beat Tom Brady, and everything is lining up for Josh Allen to do the same thing as being the Peyton Manning of this generation in this, obviously conversation, and then obviously Tom Brady being the Patrick Mahomes. So I got the Bills slightly winning in that matchup, taking advantage of that home crowd. But if the Chiefs end up winning, I wouldn't be shocked. Like I said, I don't think it would be a shocker in this game or the next of the winner. Now, if the Ravens and Niners would have lost, it would have been a big shock. But in these 2 games, not so much. Because honestly, you're looking at probably the runner-up, in the NFC based on whoever wins this game, and the runner-up, in the AFC going against Baltimore with obviously the Chiefs and the Bills. But I can't wait to see how these play out. Let's go, baby. We got to have some discipline out there. Shout out to Air. Shout out to Reflect. And I'll get some photos here in a moment. Yeah, but we might have to wait till next year, Hybrid. Plus, it's not going to matter if the Ravens play Ravens football, right? It doesn't matter who you play, Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, because if you can continue to play good, you're eventually going to end up facing both of them in the next 5 years. Josh Allen ain't going anywhere. They just need to improve the O-line and the defense. Patrick Mahomes ain't going anywhere, and so, eventually you're going to end up getting those matchups, or you'll end up playing the Chiefs early and then the Bills late, or the Bills early and the Chiefs late in like the AFC Championship game. So I think if you're Baltimore, it doesn't matter who you play. You're the best team in football besides the Niners. Get him! Yes! Oh! Wow! That would have been huge. Damn, that could have been a pick. That would have been huge for momentum. Handoff, 3rd and goal. Let's go! Vita Vea and company. You don't want none of that smoke. Antoine Winfield Jr., the best safety in the NFL. The best secondary member Tampa has had. Okay, Aqib Talib was pretty good when we had him before we let him go. But Antoine Winfield Jr., better than Aqib Talib. Antoine Winfield Jr. is the best secondary member Tampa has had since Rondé Barber and John Lynch. And both of those guys are Hall of Fame, baby. Yes, sir. Field goal is up, and it's good. 3-0 Lions. Way to hold them. We could have held them to 0 there with that pick, but I have a feeling that we're going to get a pick on Goff. I don't know how many. I'm hoping 2 to match Baker Mayfield's 2 that he'll probably get. But, if we can punch out a football or, find a way to get a special teams touchdown, pick 6, fumble for a touchdown, we're going to need something a little bit extra. Let's go. Jamel Dean, he plays nickel, and he's actually one of the better nickels in the league. But again, it's one of those things, Carlton Davis, Jamel Dean, like when we had our Super Bowl year, we don't have all the other guys in the secondary. They've been kind of spread out, Whitehead, one guy goes to the Jets, another guy leaves to go to another team. Sean Murphy Bunting leaves. So we don't have the same cohesive unit, but we still have Carlton Davis there. We still got Jamel Dean, but the main one's going to be Antoine Winfield Jr. He's going to be the one that you got to keep your eye on. So yeah, I mean, like I said, if they don't realize Vita Vea is like the next coming of, maybe a Warren Sapp 2.0 or 3.0. Yeah, I know Vita Vea, being a Husky, he ain't a Warren Sapp. He ain't Aaron Donald. But if you actually look at the big guys up front that play nose tackle or D tackle, how many guys can you list that are better than Vita Vea? In pass or run coverage, run stuffing, sack lunches, tipped footballs, and just causing havoc and getting double and triple teams. Yeah, there's a few guys statistically that might have more sack lunches, more tackles, but being the big guy up front to be able to stuff the run, I can't think of that many guys that are as good as Vita Vea or how many guys are better than him. And I'm proud that we end up having him. We got a couple Huskies here on Tampa, and hopefully they can step up with Cade Otton getting a touchdown at some point in this game. Let's go. No, man, we didn't hear from you for a few months, and I haven't heard from Jameson since springtime. So I don't know if Jameson passed away or if something happened to him, but I mean, he was a regular and a staple, on the channel, and I'm not really sure exactly what happened to him, but it's almost been almost getting close to a year that we've heard from him. So, and I know he was going through some health issues, and then he had his emotional support dog that died and whatnot. And so I don't know what's going on with him. But I'm not sure, if he's alive or if something happened or not, but, prayers up for Jameson wherever he is. And, hopefully we end up seeing him in the room one day. And if we don't, prayers up to him and his family. But, we've been waiting for him, and it's not like him just leave and not show up. So, but hopefully he's okay. And the last time I did talk to him, he was facing some health concerns. So Hopefully it wasn't COVID or something like that, or cancer or something worse. And we lost a few. We lost Nate the Great as well. Prayers up, Nate the Great. Not many people have that kind of love and appreciation to donate $500 3-4 times to the channel. And he lost his battle in his life with cancer at a very, very young age, being in your, late 20s, early 30s, and to get stage 4 cancer and have life slipped away from you. Very tough. So prayers up to my guy, Nate the Great and Jameson. All right, 3-0 Lions. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Bucks. Well, Baker's going to get a deal for the Bucks. I still want to look at a quarterback this year or next year, but I'm proud of what he's done. There we go, Rashad. There we go, baby. Rashad White with a nice gain of about 7-8 yards. Let's go. And that's the thing about Tampa. You just need to be able to have balance. Good running backs. You already got Godwin in, and you got Mike Evans. But there's other guys on the team that can make big plays. And we do have a few studs up front on the line, headed by our leader, Tristan Wirfs. And he'll be a Hall of Famer. You believe that? Let's go, baby. 2nd down and 2. Shotgun set. Baker. Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike. You're a first ballot Hall of Famer. Let's go. You got to get in sync with Baker. We've got other guys like Trey Palmer and these other guys that can step up. He woke up angry today. But come on, Mike. Third down and 2. Pound the rock. They can't stop Rashad White. And if we can minimize the damage to Montgomery and Gibbs, we're going to have a shot in this game. Baker. Let's go, Mike. First down, Buccaneers. There we go. Yeah, I think she's doing some volunteer work. So she's doing some of that, but she'll probably be in the late stream, but I think she's doing some volunteer work in her community of something of that nature, unless she had other plans on top of that. But yeah, she's doing something right now. So I'm happy that I got you to fill in for her, man. 3-0 Lions. Shotgun set. Baker, play action fake. Let's go. Trey Palmer, baby, you better watch out. He woke up angry, and anytime he posts that he woke up angry, he scores a touchdown. Let's go. Oh, it's all good. I ended up doing the stream, and then I ended up shutting it down due to lack of support. So ended up streaming for about an hour and a half of that game to about halftime, and then it's not worth my mental health, to go and put in a lot of effort, spending an hour on the thumb and grinding it out. I got to make sure that it's worth my time and my mental health too. Get rid of it, Baker. It's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. But I did end up watching the whole game, so got to see San Fran with that epic comeback. And, Green Bay played well. They got a bright future. They got a lot of athletic running back, wide receivers, and tight ends. They just need to keep beefing up that O-line, improving that defense. And if you're Jordan Love, you can't make that throw. He was making all those throws when he had that 19 touchdowns and 1 pick in the 9 games. But again, at some point, when you play an elite team, like a Baltimore Ravens or a San Francisco 49ers, chances are at some point they're going to make a play on you. And then the play ended up being the play that cost the Packers the game. Baker. There we go, Bake. There we go. Good slide. Let's go, baby. Be electric out there. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Third down and long. Come on, Bucks. Shotgun set. And they went conservative here. Chase Edmonds with the run. Field goal is up, and it's good. We're knotted up at 3, baby. I'm really loving this t-shirt. There's nothing like the smell of a brand new t-shirt from the stadium. I feel like I can smell a little bit of a Tampa on it, and I've had it for pretty much the whole season, and I've been waiting for a good opportunity to wear it. So just crazy how t-shirts now for wrestling and sports are like $45 is like the regular. I remember when I was a kid, you could get a t-shirt for like 15, 20, at the very most, maybe 25. But I guess things have changed. Green Bay had their shots for sure. They could have won that game. But again, it's not about being the best team. It's about being hot and healthy. And if you can be hot and healthy at the right time, sometimes that will even out on a team that had like the best regular season record or being the best like the Niners and the Ravens this season. So big facts. Oh, all the cardboard cutouts, baby. Let's go. Search your local Honda dealer today. I'm Javi. I'm 31, and I'm a fitness instructor. I saw myself. See if I can throw up a couple photos here for Reflect. Maybe throw up a couple Huskies of Cade Otton, as well as Vita Vea. So that way we can represent our Pac-12 love, even though the Pac-12 is no longer existing anymore. We're Big Ten now, but I got a couple really cool ones that I've been saving for you. Oh, baby. Let's go. But I'll hit you with the Huskies there. There's a one with Cade Otton, underrated. And then I got another one of Cade. And if there's anything else specifically you want, let me know. I got you. See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com. Let's go, Bucks. And I always like the fact of having some Huskies, on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as long as they're going to, show up and show out. So. See if I can squeeze one more in here. Appreciate you, brother. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Good game so far, which I figured it would be. 3-3. Let's go. What's good, bro? How are you, brother? All right, Lions, your turn. Blitzing the board. The Bucs defense, we used to do the Tampa 2, right? And, it's all about timed blitzes at the right time. Last 7 games, look at that, 15.3. Rushing TDs allowed, 0. Longest team streak since 2015. No rushing touchdowns in the last 5 games. I mean, and Tampa's defense doesn't have the Warren Sapps, the Simeon Rices, the Derek Brooks, the John Lynches, the Rondé Barbers. That's pretty impressive for a lot of the guys that are not really well known, besides Antoine Winfield Jr., Devin White, and Levante David. Little check down. Jahmyr Gibbs with the short gain. Jamel Dean with the tackle. Did you see the post that I sent you this morning about the running back? I sent you a post in your text message, Reflect. Let's go. Second down and 7. Goff. Hands off to Gibbs. Yeah, you got to trip him up. He's fast. He's electric. Levante David, OG. The most underappreciated linebacker in the game, not named Demario Davis on the Saints, is Levante David. Never gets pub, never gets love, just puts his head down and gets the job done. And then for a year and a half, maybe Devin White was better than Levante, but Levante was still great. And then Devin White, it felt like, there was some plays and, maybe the commitment to the team and maybe just not, hustling when, and playing hard through every single snap, got criticized a little bit, which he should have. And like I said, and then he wanted out, he wanted to leave and whatnot. So I'm always going to be a linebacker guy, but we got to make sure we hold our linebackers and our defense to a certain standard of greatness. Yeah, former Arizona running back Jonah Coleman is committed to Washington, baby. 91.3 PFF grade last season, 5th among running backs. Congrats. Goff? Amon-Ra St. Brown, baby. 8-yard gain. Nice job by Amon-Ra. Second down and 2. Shotgun set. Handoff. There we go. Where are you going? Goldston and Britt, where are you going? Let's go. They're transferring because DeBoer left. I mean, that's how it goes. Anytime you end up having a coach, like when we had Mario Cristobal and all the other guys, Taggart, it's like anytime you end up having a coach, and then they transfer and leave, then a lot of the players leave too. That's unfortunate, but that's just the reality. Like if Dan Lanning would have left, to take that Alabama job, do you think all these other Duck players would have stayed there? Some of them would have stayed, but some of them would have dipped for sure. So, it's just the reality of the game. If you can't keep your head coach and you got guys that are going to be going to the NFL or they're graduating and they're not going to be in the NFL, you're going to have NIL deals. But again, Washington is in a place now that they're going to have to, they built it up all the way to that point, and now they're going to have to start over from ground zero. So USC obviously has, an offense, but they don't got a defense. UCLA still has some room to grow on offense and defense with Chip Kelly. And Oregon obviously is going to be a powerhouse in the Big Ten. And I think a lot of people are going to predict us to end up winning the Big Ten or being right there with Michigan and Ohio State. And it also depends if Harbaugh leaves, then Michigan slides down even further. And then it might be Ohio State or Oregon for Big Ten supremacy. Second down and 4. Goff, play action fake. Little bootleg, rolling to his right. Nice tackle. Bucks are hitting out there. Let's go. Yeah, but again, it's like Michael Penix Jr., the chances of Washington getting another quarterback like that immediately after a coach that got coach of the year leaving, it's going to, and they got Jed, and Arizona, obviously, he built them up to the best that they've been in a long time. But again, for Jed to be able to get his guys and also to have the money to be able to bring in some of these guys, it might take a few years, for Washington to get back where they were now. And even with that being said, they may not even be able to get back to that point. That might have been their one opportunity, and it may take 10 years to actually build up a team again to get to that point. And that's not me being a hater. You can ask Reflect. He's a Husky fan. It's realistic because when you're a small market team, and, you don't got funds like Oregon and Nike, and you're not Ohio State, and you're not Michigan, and you're not Bama, you're not Georgia, you're going to be sitting in there competing with UCLA, USC, in the Big Ten as far as old Pac-12 teams. It's going to be difficult. It's not like prior to this season and last season, Washington really wasn't like the ideal destination for a lot of these kids. They would rather go to the Bamas and the Georgias and the Michigans and the Ohio States and the Clemsons and Texas and places like that. But at least they were able to get some pub in the last couple of years, and then hopefully they can end up getting someone similar to Michael Penix Jr. in the near future, and then we'll find out if Jed ends up lasting a couple of years or if they end up firing him and trying to find the next guy, the next DeBoa, to be able to lead them to supremacy. So Megan in the building, what's good? Yeah, and then we're not going to have Jackson Powers anymore, so that's going to be tough. But obviously, our pipeline and recruiting, and it also shows to you, that if you can keep your coach there, that's going to be more valuable than pretty much any players that you have. Because if you have an elite coach and he stays, you're going to be able to keep recruiting those players, and they can commit to you. They may not stay there for 4 years, but at least they know that you're going to be there for that year and maybe the next. So that way that you can kind of feel a little bit more comfortable if a guy is going to be staying for 4 years and they know the coach has been there for 3, 4, 5, 6, and he might make it to being a coach there for 8 or 10 years, you have a better chance of retaining your players. And not only that, gaining more players that are like, you know what, let's go here. I can go to Ohio State, but I'm going to be a backup. But if I go to Oregon, I'm going to be the starting corner. Let's go to Oregon. And let's be honest, based on recruiting and how things have all, kind of transpired, Oregon is a top 5 team in the country now as far as recruiting and then moving forward. So I wouldn't be shocked if Oregon competes for a natty in the next 5 to 10 years, or even if we win a natty in the next 5 to 10 years. But to do that, we're going to have to make sure that we keep the coach there. Dan Lanning has to stay that whole time. If we end up losing him, then that goes out the window. 3rd down and 4. Goff, nice catch. First down, Lions. Sam Laporta, move the chains. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. They went there because they know that Nick Saban is pretty much an NFL, he's the guy. So if you go play for Alabama and Saban's there, you're going to make the NFL. But if Saban leaves, what's going to make a kid stay, even if they watched DeBoer and liked him? The aura and the mystique, from Alabama is kind of gone. Now they have to rebuild, and Alabama isn't as hot as a destination as it was with Saban. That's just the reality. So now it really comes down to like Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, if Harbaugh stays, and then I think Oregon. I feel that those are kind of like the premier destinations, and I'd probably throw Texas in there as well. Texas, Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan, if Harbaugh stays, and Georgia. And then after those teams, then Alabama. Alabama would be like 6th or 7th. They're still going to be Alabama, but they have to go down in the pecking order a little bit with the coaching change. It was Saban. Nice catch. Laporta, first down, Lions, move the chains. And that's why college football, it's going to be one of those things where, it's like it's going to be really hard to be able to keep guys there. It's like you're going to get a new quarterback pretty much every single year if you have a good program. So it's like you don't even have to worry about getting some 5-star kid from your hometown state. And if you don't get them, you're screwed. Now it's like every year you're going to have an opportunity to bring in another transfer or another guy to compete with those in-house guys from that hometown state. Goff, incomplete. What happened to my hands? A little overthrown. Like those instances of having like Sheldon High School great, Justin Herbert coming to Oregon. That was great, but we're not going to need that anymore. Out of Oregon, it's like if we don't get a Justin Herbert type of player from Oregon in high school going to the Ducks, if he decides to go somewhere else, it's not going to ruin us because we're just going to be able to get someone from Bama or Georgia or Ohio State or Michigan or a lower name team like a South Carolina, or whatever it may be. If they know that they can get an opportunity to play for the Ducks or one of the teams like USC, Washington Huskies, or the UCLA Bruins representing in the Big Ten now. A little screen. Come on, Tampa. Oh, I sent a list. I didn't send it to you. I can send it to you. You have no idea, bro. I mocked up this new list that I sent to Matt, and with the players that I got, it's ridiculous. And obviously Dan Lanning being a defensive guy, it's like we're finally getting those guys in there. Touchdown, Lions. Big play on 3rd down and 5. Goff. Laser throw. Touchdown, Detroit. That was pretty. Jared Goff to Josh Reynolds. Extra point is up, and it's good. 10-3, hashtag one pride. Yeah, I mean NIL deals, but also I think the loyalty to the loyalty to the school is gone. There is no more loyalty to any school in college football. Which kind of sucks. So it's like unless you have a elite top 5 coach and he stays, you're going to be ahead of the curve over every other coach because these players, they can be like, oh, I'm going to go to Georgia. And they might only stay there. And you think you're going to have this 5-star guy for 4 years, and he might only be there for a year and dip. And then you're going to have to find someone else. So there is no more loyalty as far as the players, the students, as well as the coaches anymore. Unless you end up having a top 5 coach and he stays, like a Ryan Day at Ohio State, or Kirby Smart at Georgia, Dan Lanning at Oregon, or being someone like Sarkisian at Texas. Those guys are going to have the up and up on everyone else because most people think that they're going to be there for a little while. And a little while isn't even 10 years. A little while is like 5. And then you're hoping for 10. But, how many coaches are really going to stay there longer than, 5 years nowadays? It's not that many. But it feels like, Ryan Day might be able to be there for 10 years. Dan Lanning could be there for 5 to 10 years. Kirby Smart ain't going anywhere. And if they decide to fire Kirby Smart, who do you think the first person they're going to call? Dan Lanning. Now, does Dan Lanning take the job at Georgia, to elevate his career? Or does he think that he's just as good as Georgia at Oregon and he wants to win a chip there? So, like Oregon is finally getting to the point where Georgia, Bama, Michigan, and Ohio State are no longer above us. We're equals now, and like as far as recruiting, and what we're able to do. Now we just have to be able to take it the next step, get better kickers, better special teams, better O-line, better defense. So that way when we play other Big Ten teams, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, right, and other elite teams like Bama and Georgia and Texas, that we can find a way to end up beating those teams instead of falling short. So it's still a long ways to go for the Oregon Ducks, but I like our future and our chances of being able to bring home a chip, for us Oregonians here in the Pacific Northwest. 10-3 Lions. All right, Tampa, your turn. All right, let me throw up a couple photos here for Air, even though he's not here. I know a lot of Packer fans are having a rough morning and a rough night last night. But I mean, they put the Niners, all the way to the ropes. It's not like they, blew them out. So this team has got a bright future. They're young, and again, if they can beef up that O-line, even more. And the O-line was really the big key for them. If the O-line didn't play as good as they played in those previous 9 games, they wouldn't have had 19 touchdowns, 1 pick out of Jordan Love. So I feel that's the one piece that never got talked about. The media said, Jordan Love, Jordan Love, Jordan Love. How about the offensive line? Because if the offensive line doesn't give Jordan Love time, we're not talking about Jordan Love today or yesterday or in the past 9 weeks. So again, some people know football, some people don't, but we have to give a lot of credit to that offensive line of Green Bay. And Jordan Love, he played great. Besides that bad throw and that bad decision, throwing across his body, through the field there. You can't do that. All right, come on, Tampa. Let's go, baby. First down and 10. Trey Palmer in motion. Shotgun set. Baker. Little check down. Edmonds with the short game. Come on, Chase. Let's go, Bucks. Let's go. Godwin in motion. Shotgun set. Baker. Edmonds again. Give it to Rashad White. Why is Edmonds in there? But it feels like that Green Bay-Detroit rivalry, is going to be very, very good. And then depending on who Minnesota gets at quarterback, we might have a three-team race battling it out, And I'm hoping that we can get that with Tampa, the Saints, and the Falcons. And it looks like, if Minnesota can get their guy and then beef up that O-line, whether it be Michael Penix Jr. or someone else, it could be very interesting for many years to come. Baker, get that first down. Golly, I don't know if he got it. I think he's short. Flag on the play. $20. Let's get to a hundo. We got a flag. Who's it on? Pass interference. Offense. Damn it. Cade Otton. Damn it. Cade. Why? On that crossing route, on that pick play. What are you doing? Sometimes they call that, sometimes they don't. Third down and 15. Shotgun set. Baker. Little check down. Oh, look at Edmonds' fight. Wow, Edmonds almost to the first down marker. Gain of 14. Wow. 4th and 1. Also the defensive coordinator, right? Sometimes that could be the tiebreaker, and we know how Todd Bowles wants to play. Appreciate you guys very much hanging out with your boy. 4th and 1. Bucks with the punt, trying to be smart out there. Canales, he's a good OC, man. I don't want to see him get a head coaching job, but like I said, there's going to be a lot of names circulating with the coaching hires, and there's definitely going to be teams that get, plucked and picked apart. I mean, look at the Eagles losing, Steichen and Gannon and where they went. They went from Super Bowl, team 10-1 this year and to absolute dog shit, in a matter of, weeks after that. So, you can still have the players, but if you don't have the coaches, that's a big, big loss. And I don't want to lose Canales at all. Let's go, baby. Go Bucks. 10-3 Lions. Game kind of going how I thought it was going to go so far. All right, let's see if I can grab a couple other Packer photos for Air, even though he's not here, to start us off with the tenor. Going on now, all 7 of our brands new or use your markdown to rock bottom prices. Visit dickautorgroup.com and click on Show Me the Deal. Save with Bi-Mart's latest digital savings guide at bimart.com. A 14-pound bag shows you, when you have a potential quarterback that could be, franchise, and you have him sit behind a legend, and learn, it definitely helps. Alex Smith with Patrick Mahomes, and you had Brett Favre with Aaron Rodgers, and then Aaron Rodgers now with Jordan Love. Very impressed. And Aaron Jones did everything in his power to get the job done. And that was really going to be the big key in that game. If Aaron Jones went off, they would have a chance to win. And that big 50-yard rip at the end of the game, I was like, ooh. But again, you got to have a good field goal kicker. And just like, with the Oregon Ducks, with Camden Lewis, if you don't have a reliable kicker, which Green Bay doesn't, not only did Moody miss one for the Niners, but a key miss there. And let's not, kid ourselves. If they would have been able to complete that pass with Jordan Love, there's no guarantee that field goal kicker would have made that kick, to tie it to go to overtime possibly. So But shout out to Green Bay for having a great season and giving us a little flash, a little preview of what's to come for them in the future. I see you. Appreciate you, Air. All right, Lions, your turn. Panthers fan in the building. What's good? $1.99. Exciting to see Bryce Young again next season. I am too. With all the haters and the haters and the haters. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. But you guys are going to need better coaching. You got to have a better O-line, a better defense, better running backs, better wide receivers. So I'm just hoping by the time that they improve the supporting cast and everything around them, including coaches, hopefully Bryce is still there, because it might take until his 4th year. And by that time, he might not be the quarterback of the Carolina Panthers. So hopefully they can get it, tuned up, and I'll get you some Bryce Young photos here in just a second. Appreciate you. Panthers fan with a $2 dono. My guy. Goff? There we go. Appreciate you. Let's get a couple Bryce queued up here.
Those two linebackers want to make all the tackles. So what does Goff do as soon as he sees that thing? All right, fine. We got nobody left.
Appreciate you, brother.
I just feel like Jared Goff, in a way that I've never seen him in his career, feels calm on the air and is making easy decisions look easy, but he never was that.
Goff? Right there, Sam Laporta. First down, Lions. I got to hit you with your Panther logo here. We got to make sure we're doing it right. Appreciate you, Panthers fan. Been a part of the channel for many, many years. There we go. There we go. We just need some development, baby, but you need a better supporting cast. Appreciate you. $2 dono from my guy, Panthers fan. Handoff. Montgomery, short game. 22. Let's get to a hundo. At the beginning of the season, I was very skeptical, and like I said, it's not, have to be Tom Brady level, but again, like for me, I've been a Bucs fan since 95. So there was a streak of about 10, 11, 12 years from like 2008 to like 2019 where we were just dog shit. But I do think Baker, based off his statistics, has earned a deal, and he'll probably end up getting 30-40 million a year. And I still want to draft a quarterback either this year or next year to compete with them, someone better than Kyle Trask. But I definitely feel that, Baker has earned it. And if you look at the statistics, I read it off earlier. He's exactly what I think we thought Johnny Football could have been, in the NFL if he were, able to have some discipline, not chase girls, not be partying and drinking. But Baker Mayfield stats this season, including the playoffs, but not this game. 64.1 completion percentage, 4,381 passing yards, almost 4,400, 31 passing TDs, and 10 picks. And complete. J-Mo, the intended wide receiver. So 31 passing TDs and 10 picks. That's a hell of a lot better than anyone anticipated. 96.1 passer rating, and then 179 rushing yards and a TD. So, I think that he is the guy. He's earned it. Now, is he good enough, to get to a Super Bowl and win it? That's yet to be seen. Probably not. But again, we have to be able to, give a guy a journeyman like this, a past first-round pick like Jared Goff, where it looks like you might have not been able to pan out with your drafted team with Jared Goff and the Rams and Baker Mayfield with the Browns, but both guys have found a home in Tampa Bay and Detroit. And complete. Panthers fan with a $5. Yep, I appreciate that. But again, with Bryce, we don't really know how good he is, because everyone got, CJ Stroud, and then AR got hurt. But if you would have put Bryce Young on the Texans, he probably wouldn't have been as good as CJ Stroud, but he would have been a hell of a lot better than what you got to see with Carolina. So the better people that you have around you and the better coaches that you have around you will lift his level of play, even though he's an undersized quarterback. But we still have concerns that he can do it. Oh, what happened to my hands? Pass incomplete. $5 from Panthers fan, my guy. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, and a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. And I really want, the NFC South not to be the worst team in the worst division in football. I want to see the Bucks, Saints, Falcons, and Panthers succeed. Someone's got to represent the NFC South on YouTube, and it's me. So I appreciate you very, very much. I mean, we got a lot of room to improve. We got to make sure that we don't overpay Baker if we do give him a deal. Make sure that Mike Evans is a Bucks for life, and we make sure that he doesn't leave. Build the O-line and build the defense. That's a priority. So, and the coaching staff is good where it's at with Canales, and then having obviously with the proper pieces in place right now at head coach with Todd Bowles. But you can always improve. And again, we're the only team, in the NFL to make the playoffs in the last 4 years. So we're obviously doing something right.
Discover a non-invasive 2-in-1 eye treatment from Rock. Developed with dermatologists. New Derm Correction Eye Cream. A dual-action breakthrough designed to lift the upper eye and smooth the under eye. Powered by retinol and peptides. 90% saw visibly lifted eyelids and 96% saw visibly reduced lines and dark circles in 2 weeks. It's clinically proven. Derm Correction Eye Cream. Experience a total eye upgrade. Rock, the retinol expert.
G4xE lets you choose your adventure. Choose electric mode for even more capability and efficiency. Or gas mode for extended range. Make it a year of your adventure in G4xE.
All right, let's get some more Panther photos up here as well. I appreciate you. Panthers fan with another $5. Someone's taking care of your boy. I appreciate that. Said Breaker doing bad for the Panthers proved the coaching is terrible in Carolina. Bryce needs a good coach. Honestly, Tepper, and we usually have some other Panther fans, in the building like Finley, but you gotta get rid of the owner. Not a good owner, and you got to have a better GM, better head coach. It all trickles down. Ownership, GM, owner, GM, owner, GM, head coach, OC, DC, but it also shows you that he didn't have the supporting cast there, right? But when he went to the Rams, you saw flashes with McVay because McVay knew how to use him. And then now you're actually seeing that Baker can be a good quarterback, but he needs supporting cast like Goff. If you don't have supporting cast or bad coaching, it ain't going to work, but since they ended up finding a place that embraced them and they ended up having good coaching and good supporting cast, it ended up working out pretty well for both of them. Yeah, it's okay, man. It is what it is. We have to be honest about it. It's usually the AFC South or the NFC South, and it's going to go back and forth year in and year out until we can improve all the teams. It is what it is. But again, there's still going to be someone that can be an underdog, even if we're the worst team, to find a way to do something. Like the Bucks, if they win the NFC South, they might be able to win something even at 9-8. We beat the shit out of the Eagles. No, I don't know how many people saw that coming by winning by that much, right? And then if the Saints end up winning and they end up going, they'll have a chance, to beat someone too, even if they only have a 9-8 or a 10-7 record. So, and then hopefully we can get the Falcons and Panthers sped up a little bit as well. So I'll get you some more photos here in just 1 second. I appreciate you, Panthers fan, very, very much. $5 dono and another $5 dono. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. Appreciate you. What do you want to do for photos? Let me know with your two $5 donos that you did. Type in the chat what you want to have for photos. We can even go back in the past. You want to go Jake Delhomme. You want to go Steve Smith Sr. You want to go Mushin Muhammad. You want to go Julius Peppers. You let me know where you want to go, and I got you. It could be either current or a past player or multiple. I got you. I had a feeling that you were going to say that. That's why I brought it up. I got you. First down and 10. Mike Evans, baby. Little screen.
We talked about the versatility on the other side, but Hutchinson's pretty good as well. He had 3 interceptions his first year, and I think they rushed the passer. He didn't have a huge game against Tampa the last time.
And even though Steve Smith, was a big talker and whatnot, I always liked him. I always thought that he was super special. And, talking about, the size of the dog, I mean, he had way more heart and determination than a guy that was 6'5". So even if you're under 6 foot or just barely at 6 foot, I mean, he played like he was 6'5", and then he was built like Megatron, even though he was much smaller, but he was physical. He talked shit. Anyone that wanted to, step up, he would be able to punch back. And I really respected that. As far as like short wide receivers, I would take him over Deshaun Jackson any day. D-Jax had the deep threat, but Steve would give you intermediate, he'd give you short, and he would go deep, and he would run you over. A very, very special talent in Steve Smith Sr. Stud. Always liked him. And it was kind of weird seeing him play in Baltimore, and he still had some amazing games there, but I will always envision him as a Carolina Panther. 3rd down and 6. Come on, Tampa. Shotgun set. Baker. Rachaad White. Get it. Yes. 1st down, Bucs. Move the chains. Yeah, well, they need to get rid of a lot of things. They got to get rid of the GM, the head coach, the coordinator. Carmichael's already gone, but they need to do a total rehaul. And obviously getting Carr at quarterback was a mistake. Even though he started playing better at the end of the season, that's not a fit for that team. And I think they, I'm not saying that they would have been better with Jameis Winston all year or Taysom Hill, but I don't know. They need to have someone better. They were blessed with Drew Brees, and when you go from Drew Brees to that, it's tough. 1st down, Bucs. Kate Otten, baby. Let's go. But it shows you got to have the right GM, the right head coach, the right coordinators. And Dennis Allen is not a head coach. He's a defensive coordinator. And it'll show you as you're watching certain teams, especially with a lot of these new hires, that they're going to be hiring the Ben Johnsons and the Slovics, and they're going to be looking at these guys, but just because you're a DC or an OC doesn't mean you're going to be a great head coach. You have to have all the intangibles, and you have to be able to have the respect of the players, which is earned, not given. 1st down and 10 for my Bucs. Let's go. Shotgun set. Baker avoids the sack lunch. Get rid of it. Floater. Incomplete.
The concern coming into the game was for Mount right here, but this pressure is going to come over this way. And one of the things the Lions were really hoping to do was
I'm squeezing in a few more of these Steve Smiths for you. I got to multitask. Multitasking is what I do best. All right, 3:13 left in the second quarter. 10-3 Lions. Tampa needs a touchdown or a minimum of a field goal to, at least stop the bleeding a little bit here, but a touchdown would be ideal so we can have a 10-10 score. Decent run. Let's see how many I can squeeze in here for a Panthers fan.
So typically on 3rd down, it's Chris Godwin time, but they're also, I know it's the playoffs, I know it's you're looking at 1st downs, but sometimes this is also when you get those one-on-one opportunities.
Appreciate you. I'll squeeze in a few more here, Panthers fan, once we go to commercial. Shotgun set. Baker, 3rd down and 5. Going to Chris Godwin. Incomplete. No flags. Looked like his arm was wrapped around his waist a little bit right there, but those are tit for tat. So, unless the refs want to call it. So, no reason to call a flag there, but let's take a quick look at the replay if he did have his arm around the waist or not. Let's see if they show it. Nope. I think he's good there. Oh, there was a little pinch of the jersey, but nothing to claim anything for as far as a penalty. 50-yard attempt. McLaughlin. Doink. That's tough. Come on, McLaughlin. It's 50 yards, but that's tough. Tough. Hold was good. Laces out. Fucking doinked it. God damn it. All right, let's get some more Panther fan photos here. I appreciate you. 10-3 Detroit. Appreciate you, Panthers fan. Thank you for supporting. It means a lot. And I knew every time that we played Carolina that he was going to tear us the fuck up. You know, mad love and respect for Steve Smith, you know. Some of his, commentary words can be suspect at times, you know, and obviously, working on the NFL side is, doing some type of commentary with his opinions and whatnot. But, hey, on the field, he was a dog. Big facts. One of the best short wide receivers, as far as physicality, route running, hands, and just a dog through and through. Big facts. Maybe the best short wide receiver that played like he was bigger than he was. Shout out to you, bro. All right, Detroit, your turn after that missed field goal. Let me see if I can squeeze in a Julius Peppers here real quick, one of my favorites from Carolina, to help out Panthers fan and his love for the channel. I appreciate that. A little Steve Smith and a little Julius Peppers, baby. I'll have to get you a Luke Kuechly before we get into halftime, too. All right, Lions, your turn. Hand off by Montgomery, gain of about 5. Now we're down to the 2-minute warning. What are you trying to do? You're trying to change your profile pic instead of having it be a purple M. If you do that, you actually have to go do like your YouTube studio or go to YouTube and then click on. You have to go to like your actual YouTube and like click on it. And then you have to hit the pencil. And then if you hit the pencil, that should allow you to edit it and then click on the photo. Like if you have the app on your cell phone, but I don't know if you have that or not. So, or you just have to go on YouTube itself and then, your account, and then you can click on the photo part and you can change it there. All right, let me see if I can grab a Luke Kuechly here while we have time. My second favorite player on the Panthers defense of all time. And hey, this is my number one, baby. I'm a linebacker guy through and through. And definitely he didn't want to get CTE like Chandler Jones and Antonio Brown. So, sometimes you got to end up leaving a little early. But if you leave early and you leave on top, there is no memory of a downfall or shitty play. You leave out on top like Sandy Koufax. You leave out on top like Barry Sanders, and you leave out on top like Megatron, as well as Luke Kuechly. It's a cool photo. Appreciate you, bro. All right, Lions, your turn. Yeah, if you have social media of any kind, or someone, you know, in the family of any kind, and then you just follow me, you know, on Instagram or Twitter/X, or Facebook, you know, and then, oh, okay. Well, it's okay, you know, we'll be able to figure that out at some point. We're getting into NASCAR season and the MLB sooner too, so I'm excited about that. Paisley's in here. She says, woof, woof, da woof. Goff. Nice catch. Izzy in with the tackle. Amon-Ra St. Brown. First down. Lions. Move the chains.
We have not seen those same explosive plays by the Buccaneers defense.
So the wrist came down, then the elbow came down on the back end. So we're going to take a peek upstairs in replay as we are inside of 2 minutes.
Runner was down inbound.
Stud right there.
I think short.
Yes.
I mean, watch the ball hand. I think it's the one where the elbow goes down right there. That's it.
We're back to the 48. At one point, his wrist is down there. Terry, is there a runoff? Terry McCauley, our three-time Super Bowl referee, rules analyst. Is there a runoff with this?
There is, Mike. He's down in bounds, so they're going to reverse it to a running clock, 10-second runoff, or a timeout from either team. We're going to set the game clock to 1:56. We'll run 10 seconds from that spot.
All right, Amon-Ra. Lions fans don't like it. 32, 68 to go. Matt knows math. PhD in mathematics, baby. Paisley's in here missing daddy. Said, Dad, you got to do 7 hours straight? What about me?
Well, this is the play that's going to decide if those timeouts start to be used or not.
Come on, Bucks. We need a big play. Pick six, fumble for a touchdown, a turnover. We need something. Or if they're going to score, you got to hold them to 3, not a touchdown. Goff, get him. Yeah. It's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ragnow is down. That's not good. Uh-oh. Ragnow is their second best offensive lineman behind Penei Sewell. Uh-oh. I hope he's okay. Cansey's nice. Wow. Oh, he gets rolled up from behind. Yeah, Ragnow down. Uh-oh.
Fourth down. We'll be back.
No problem.
With 5 drive loads. Road makes us a walk in the park.
Drive the Nissan Road. Now get 1.9% APR financing for 60 months or get $2,000 in net cash from the 2023 Nissan Road.
Close, no. We have the race.
Two hands down Dallas Cowboys.
That's a big money for them.
This is a good story, too, with Baker Mayfield and Jared Goff. Sometimes your legacy won't be determined by that first team that you're on. Sometimes it's going to be that second team or third team or that fourth team. If you still have a chance to be able to prove yourself to find that right fit. And Jared Goff, in Detroit is a perfect fit. And at least short term, Baker Mayfield looks like a good fit for Tampa Bay, even though I still want to get a rookie quarterback this year or next year to back him up or to push him and compete for the job. Because Kyle Trask ain't it. That's big facts. Renee in the building. Bang, bang, Niner gang, baby. This could be huge. 3-time Pro Bowl selection after 2020, 2022, and 2023. He gets rolled up on. As he got sacked, he got rolled up on. I hope Ragnow's okay. If he's out, that could be the opening that Tampa would need to maybe make this game a little bit closer because our D-line is nice. But again, I hate to see guys get rolled up on and get injured like that, and I hope that he's okay. David in the building, what's good? Raiders. All right, Bucks, come on now. We need to get a field goal or something at least and not have it be like a 50-yard attempt. Let's go, Baker. Ain't good enough to realize 32 and 68 make a hundo. It's all good, Matt. I appreciate you. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X. Shout out to Cyberpunk, Matt, and Sarah helping out on that side, on the Twitter X side for the live stream. First down and 10. Rachaad White, run his ass over. Give less to Chase Edmonds, more to Rachaad White. He's the best running back we've had since Warwick Dunn, right? And Mike Allstott, give him the damn rock. Let's go. And we had moments with Cadillac Williams and Doug Martin, but Rachaad White is better than them. Let's go. Shotgun set. Baker down the sideline. What happened to my hands? Nobody in the locker room respects DA. I would agree with that. Yeah, you can't really, I mean, there's certain pieces, DeMario Davis, Cameron Jordan, Lattimore. There's going to be certain pieces that are a staple of that team. AK-41, you don't got to worry about Michael Thomas anymore because he can't stay healthy, and at least you have Olave now, But Carr isn't the guy, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what Saints fans overall think about him. Like, sometimes he plays good, sometimes he plays bad, but I just don't think it's a fit. The style of play, was a fit for the Raiders, but I don't think it's the same fit that, what he did on the Raiders for the Saints, even though he played better late. But go Baker! Go Baker! Yeah! First down, Bucks. Let's go. But there's just certain pieces that, are going to be hard to replace. And, you got, some good production out of Paulson Adebo and some of the others, but it just feels like, and Juwan Johnson from my Ducks, obviously when he's healthy, he tries to be a good piece to the puzzle for you guys as well. But it just feels like, that O-line needs to be rebooted and retooled, and that defense needs a little bit of retooling as well. But again, coaching, the GM, the head coach, the OC, the DC, everything needs to get blown up, and they need to figure out what they're going to do there. Carmichael, I could have told you that wasn't going to work, but DA is not a head coach. You know, and it's not like he'll take a back seat to go back to being the defensive coordinator. You know, once they get rid of him, he's gone. You know, so. Come on, baby. We get points. We need points. 35 seconds left. 10-3 Lions. Come on, Baker. We got plenty of options. We got Godwin. We got Mike Evans, Trey Palmer, Kate Otten. Baker? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go. Yeah, well, I would assume that, getting a quarterback for Tampa, Atlanta, and Nolans. Oh! Let's go! Almost a touchdown sliding in there. Look at Mike Evans. That's the Mike Evans that I know and love. Let's go. Because, sometimes, early in the season, Carr played like shit, but then towards the end of the year, he played much better. He looked pretty fucking good. And again, it's going to be coaching and chemistry and whatnot. But also, too, it's like you have to know what you have as far as weapons. And if you got AK-41, you give him the damn ball. And I feel that, they kind of faded him at times in the season, which was kind of dumb. But again, you have to have the right coach, the right OC, and the right DC to be able to get the guys the ball at the right time, like getting Olave more targets, getting AK-41 more opportunities, and having Carr, not force the football. But again, we'll find out if he ends up being the guy. And I know, some of the, fans are split. Sometimes Taysom Hill, looks like he can do it, but sometimes he's got fumbling problems and sometimes he'll throw picks and they want to use him as that Swiss Army knife, right? RPO, run, catch, pass, block, whatever, right? And then we know Jameis, he can throw deep, right? And if you're going to get picks out of Carr, you're going to get the same kind of picks out of Jameis, but Jameis can actually throw the 50-yard bomb for a touchdown, which Carr typically can't. So he's more short throw, intermediate most of the time. But again, you're going to get pick sixes with Jameis, and that's why he's not a starter in the NFL. He's just going to have too many turnovers. But he's more exciting, I think, than Carr. I think Jameis gives you more boom and bust, but when he booms, it's more exciting. First and goal. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Kate Otten, Huskies. I told you, baby. I told you. Huskies, baby. Vita Vea, Kate Otten. Baker, Kate Otten. Underrated. Flag on the play. Touchdown, Bucs. Does it count, though? Please give me the tutty. Give it to me. Give it to me. Penalty on the defense. Let's go. Is this the game where you're going to get an upset? Buffalo's going to beat Kansas City at home, right? And you're only going to get one upset. Is it the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beating the Detroit Lions? Let's go. Let's go. Extra point is up, and it's good. Hell, if we would have made that 50-yard field goal, we'd be up 13-10. Let's go, baby. Go Bucs. Yes, sir. Shows you 9 and 8 teams, when they're hot going into the playoffs, they can compete with anybody. Look at the Packers. They almost beat the Niners. They didn't beat them, but it was close. And I know Niner fans were biting their fingernails. I know I was watching the end of that game. You definitely felt that intensity because obviously we know in that first game, it was 10-10 at halftime with the Texans and Baltimore, but CJ Stroud didn't have any passing touchdowns and Singletary wasn't able to run. And then they blew him out and scored 24 in the second half. Baltimore did. Houston had 0 in the second half. So we already knew that was a boring game, after, obviously the second half. First half was fun. Second half kind of boring. And then that Green Bay San Francisco was great from the beginning all the way to the end. And this game, let's go. Let's go. I just want Tampa to compete. That's his bottom line. I want us to compete. Kate Otten, and I said that earlier in the day. You know, my ESP is strong, baby.
All of a sudden, just something goes right. And offensively, it really had not. Defensively, they were dropping interceptions. They had
And Baker trusts Cade Otton. You know, he's been able to kind of make a name for himself, you know, within the NFC South circles. Nobody knows who the fuck Cade Otton is unless you're like a Pac-12 guy, a Husky fan, you know, or a Tampa fan or an NFC South fan, you know. And I'm not saying he's going to be, you know, Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Mark Andrews, TJ Hawkinson. He's not, you know, and he's going to be like a, you know, a top 16 tight end. Sometimes he'll play like a top 10, you know, but if you don't guard him, he will burn you. And I like what I'm seeing. The former Husky coming up big for my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're knotted up at 10, baby. Let's go. Nice job, Cade. Let's go. Well, it's chemistry and consistency, Anthony, but coaching. If the coaching is shitty with what the Saints have with fucking DA, with Dennis Allen and Carmichael, you can't expect them to do a whole lot. You know, that's not an ideal coaching situation for them. You know, this ain't fucking Sean Payton back there, you know. Let's go. We're knotted up at 10. Let's go. Good game, which I knew it would be. Yeah, and also, too, you got to remember it's about fit. You know, when you end up having Josh Jacobs to hand off to, you know, and then you end up having to go to Darren Waller and, you know, Devontae Adams and, you know, all the different Hunter Renfro. You got all these other weapons, right? So, you know, it's all about the type of offense. And it's not like the Raiders had an O-line or a defense, but you know, chemistry is everything, but you have to have the proper play callers and the proper continuity to get things done. Let's go. We're knotted up at 10. $32. Let's get to a hundo. 68 to go. I'm going to go feed Paisley here real quick and get her some early dinner and just check up on her. So, again, any type of pictures or photos that you guys want to see, just comment below and I got you. And then we'll get back to throwing some love to you guys right when we get back into halftime. So everyone take your little bathroom break, do what you need to do. And then, again, I'll be back here in just a couple minutes.
From Rock. Developed with dermatologists. New Derm Correction Eye Cream. A dual action breakthrough designed to lift the upper eye and smooth the upper eye. Powered by retinol and peptides. Visit the eyelid and 97% with the big lines and dark circles. It's clinically proven. Derm Correction Eye Cream. It's different to total eye after Rock.
Toyota halftime. Please.
All right, let's take a look at the stats here in the box score. All right, Baker Mayfield, 13 for 18, 181 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 pick off that tip pass for Mike Evans. So it wasn't really, I'm not sure, Baker's fault. I mean, he did throw it with some zip, but it wasn't like a horrible pick. And then Jared Goff, 14 for 22, 99 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. And we've held Gibbs and Montgomery to 30 yards. That's what I'm talking about. 4 for 17 and 5 for 13, and that's how you end up having a 10-10 game. And then Rachaad White, 5 carries for 39 yards. So that's more than Gibbs and Montgomery combined, but we need a little bit more. And we got 10 carries for 69 yards for Tampa, 12 carries for 39 yards for Detroit. And when Detroit typically wins games, it's when they get 100 to 200 yards combined out of Gibbs and Montgomery, and we're doing a good job so far. And we got 4 receptions, 97 yards for Mike Evans. And then we got, 5 receptions, 46 yards for Sam Laporta. Amon-Ra, only 3 receptions for 18 yards. No fumbles, just the 1 pick. KJ Britt leading the Bucs with 10 total tackles. And then Melifonwu is leading with Brian Branch with 6 for the Detroit Lions. Let's go. I'm going to get Paisley I'm going to give her some strawberries and some fruit here while we're waiting during halftime. I'll be back here in just another minute or two. Go Bucs. Steaks taco lunch part 2. That sounds good. I just got some strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, and some other fresh fruit for Paisley. So she's good. And like I said, I already told her, I was like, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be about, we already did a 1 walk early this morning, but I usually do about 3. So I'm not going to have any time in between, because once this game is over, I mean, we might have a 30-minute break by the time this game is over until the next, if this game ends at 3, and then the next game starts at 3:30. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm excited. We're right there. We're right in it. 10-10. It could go either way. And normally you're only going to have one upset, out of these 4 games. And maybe this Tampa Bay Bucket team, maybe this is the upset. We don't know. And then Buffalo, Kansas City could come down to whoever has the ball last. Let's go, baby. Nice job, Kate Otten. Bucks getting the ball, baby. Let's go, Baker. Keep baking, baby. And hopefully Mike Evans can come up with some other big plays here in the second half. Let's go. How are you? I'm going to go tuck Paisley in here, wrap her up like a burrito on the couch. So I'll be right back. Second half is going to start here in just a few minutes.
Preferred by QBs with some beef, like us.
And if we prefer it, we know you'll prefer it too.
So much beef. Now, free the longest time. What to do? People hero. About come up half with what? Order the stuff with absent.
All right, I'm back. I wrapped Paisley up like a little burrito. She had her dinner a little bit early. Gave her some blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries. So, man, she'd be eating better than me. Go. Take a look at some team stats. All right, so what do we got here for team stats? We got 11 first downs for the Bucs, 10 for the Lions. Passing first downs, 8 for the Bucs, 7 for the Lions. Total yards, 233 for Tampa, 134 for Detroit. Penalties, Tampa 3 for 23, Detroit with nothing. And then obviously we only have the one interception. And then the time of possession is pretty even, 15:37 for Tampa, 14:23 for Detroit, and we had a missed field goal. So we're right there. We're in it. And like I said, you're not going to get, a lot of upsets in this divisional round. Start of the third quarter, you're usually going to get one upset. If it's not all the home teams winning, you're going to get one upset. And is the upset Tampa? Maybe. Is the upset Kansas City on the road? Maybe. But I feel that Tampa has a better chance to upset Detroit than maybe Kansas City does to Buffalo, because I think Buffalo is going to end up winning that game, whoever has the ball last. But Buffalo's home crowd, I think that they'll have enough to get by Kansas City finally. They've been waiting and falling short, having to go on the road. Now they have the Buffalo fans in their corner, even though the defense is suspect for Buffalo. I think Buffalo gets the job done, and this one still could go either way. Yeah, exactly, man. You got to be able to understand who you have with the personnel, and know where you're going. It's like there was times where Olave should have been getting more looks, AK should have been getting more touches. You can't expect the defense to do everything for you. You got to be able to. And again, yeah, it's a new coach, and that was the defensive coordinator to the head coach, and then you had Carmichael there at OC. But with Carr, like I said, the type of player that he is, he normally is kind of like a Kirk Cousins like, where he might not be top 10, but he's like 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, like statistically, right? But when you're going from the Raiders, where they give you all the freedom, and then you're going to another team with like the Saints, I don't know. It doesn't really seem like a very good fit for me, with that team. But if it ends up working out for them, good for them. But I know if I had a choice between Baker and Carr, I'm going Baker. So what does that say right there? All right, Tampa, let's go. Get a touchdown on this drive. All right, start of the third quarter, baby. Baker, let's bake, baby. We're in it. 10-10. Anything can happen. Mike Evans, Kate Otten, Baker Mayfield. Let's go.
Set up the first of those two big plays, and then finally, for Evans, a one-on-one opportunity down to the one eventually scored, and they completely turned this football game.
Let's go, Bucks. It'd be awesome to be. I mean, like I said, the Detroit story is bigger than Tampa, and Baker Mayfield. It just so happens that Tampa's my team. But of course, having Detroit advance would be probably better for the NFL, having Detroit go against San Fran. But I mean, does anyone actually think Detroit could beat San Francisco? Honestly, and does anyone think that the Buccaneers could beat San Francisco? Honestly, so Detroit would probably be able to put up a little bit more, but our defense is better than Detroit's. So we'll see. We'll see, what team comes up on top here in this game. But at least we have a chance and we're not getting blown out, which I figured that this was going to be a close game, just like Buffalo and Kansas City. Let's go, Bucks. Let's go. First down and 10, shotgun set. And if Rachaad White gets loose, this game will be over. Like I said, if Rachaad White can get off and get into the end zone and then, end up getting himself 100, 150 yards rushing, and he starts getting loose, then the passing game is going to open up, and you will see what happens once that happens. It's a whole nother playbook that opens up once Rachaad White opens this offense up even more. Then Baker can go to like Trey Palmer and these other receivers and tight ends that you had no idea that would be able to get the football. Let's go. Second down and 5. Handoff. There we go. First down, Bucks. And if you keep wearing down that defense, it's not like Detroit's defense is any good. They got Aiden Hutchinson and who else? You know what I mean? You got CJ Gardner-Johnson back there, Branch, the rookie, so you got a couple pieces, but for a defense to be considered good, you got to have 8 good pieces out of 11. And then the other 3 can be like mid or average or below average, but you can't have like 1 or 2 out of 11 and thinking that you're going to be able to stop people. But, with that all being said, they've done a good job against Tampa, only holding them to 10. White almost fumbled the bag there. 2-yard gain. Let's go.
Yeah, but this thing is a little dicey here. If one thing you cannot do as a running back is say brand for the football.
I appreciate that. Come on, baby. Worst in the league. Rushing, passing. We got too much talent. Baker. Evans getting smashed by 3 Lions there. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X, as well as the people in the room hanging out. I appreciate you guys very much. Third down and 4. Man in motion. Trey Palmer, you can always get him the rock in the second half. He's explosive. Baker. Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. And there is the guy, Aiden Hutchinson, that dog. leading in sack lunches and tackles for loss into the playoffs. I see you. Yeah, how do you let Hutchinson go loose like that? Come on now. Good defense by Detroit. Wasted possession there. Good defense by Aiden Hutchinson. He's a stud. That was really the beginning of the Harbaugh era in Michigan on being able to get past Ohio State, getting guys like Hutchinson at Michigan, and then obviously having him go to the NFL and then getting the job done this year as being the champion of college football. Got a penalty on the play. Illegal block in the back. First down. There's a stud. And he's a one-man wrecking crew, just like Max Crosby for Anthony's Raiders. You might have 10 other guys on defense that don't do a whole lot, but if you got one guy that's a Hall of Famer and beast mode, anything can happen. And like I said, he's like a Max Crosby. Unlimited motor, never quits, sideline to sideline, the best player on the defense, and will be a future Hall of Famer. Max Crosby and Aiden Hutchinson. Stud. We just got to double team him, triple team him, do what we got to do. All right, Detroit, your turn. See what Jared Goff and the Goffense can do. I think just the 10 that we had from Air earlier before. Nothing else on there. Yeah. The Aints days. Yeah, that's this. I mean, the reality is it just depends on how long you've been a fan. Like, I look young, but I'm 41. So, I mean, I've been watching NFL and NBA, NHL, MLB, WWF, WCW, ECW. I mean, I've been watching all that shit, starting from like 85 since I was about 34 years old. So, to be able to go through the ups and the downs, it's not like Tampa was always great. There was many, many years where we weren't very good. And then we got Tony Dungy. And then from about 95, when we drafted Sapp and Brooks, and then Lynch was there, things slowly started to get better. And then, it took us about, 7-8 years to kind of build it up. Ended up going to the NFC Championship game with Sean King with an elite defense in 99, lost to the Rams. Rams ended up beating the Tennessee Titans with that reach over, trying to get that touchdown by Dyson. And then it took us a couple more years, had to let Dungy go, got Gruden, got Simeon Rice and Michael Pittman from the Cardinals. And those were like the last three pieces that we needed to be able to kind of get over the top. And then we went from that to Chris Sims in the playoffs in 05. It was ass. Then Jeff Garcia in 07. And then we had a drought from 2008 all the way to 2019 of just dog shit. And then finally, we ended up getting Bruce Arians, Tom Brady, Gronk, which still seems like a dream, and then ended up getting that championship. So, I've been to the Super Bowl twice. I've won twice, just like the Ravens, but the Ravens are trying to go 3 times and trying to go 3-0. So, I see you. Yeah. But he's the best player they've had on defense since, probably Howie Long, obviously, as far as on the D-line. And, they've had Charles Woodson and a few others sprinkled in. But Crosby is legit one of the best in the NFL, just like Aiden Hutchinson. Big facts. First down and 10. Shotgun set for Goff. Floater. And complete. Tampa's defense playing pretty well. All right, time for some Fritos. Flavored twist, honey barbecue. I'm telling you, when you haven't had Fritos in a minute, they hit differently. Especially these flavor twists. That barbecue, though. Goddamn. Goff, get him! How wasn't that a sack lunch?
And Mike Matthews for this Lions offense, they will be playing the rest of this game without their left guard. Joe Jackson is out with that knee injury.
Pro Bowler in 21, part of the 5 and 6 games in the middle of the year. So that means
3rd down and 10.
Chica, the back in there, and then the target is what it is about.
See who was on that first one and got that pressure right there. We'll keep an eye on that one all night.
Yeah, but you can't be a bandwagon fan and just, cheer for them when things are good. If you're a real fan, you got to go through the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know what I'm saying? People get spoiled. Flag on the play. And that's what makes the difference between bandwagon Patriot fans, that only, wanted to be there when things were good. How many of those Patriot fans are still Patriot fans to this day? Some of them left and became Tampa fans when Brady left and Gronk left, right? But how many are really still Patriot fans? Only the true ones, the real ones. You got to be able to go through the good, the bad, and the ugly and understand that it's not always going to be pretty out there. Then the wins mean more, when you go through struggles. Instead of just being a team that wins all the time, then you take it for granted. Like in the Drew Brees era, a lot of Saints fans took that shit for granted. And they had the best record in the regular season for 4 years and should have won a Super Bowl in that year against the Rams, and they got robbed. I'll give them that. But then also unexcusable losses against the Vikings with the Minneapolis Miracle, the Diggs, and then the push-off, obviously there, by Kyle Rudolph, even though they didn't call it. But still, you shouldn't even have been that close to them for that to happen. You should have blown them out. So, they're at their own fault for that. But again, 4 years, you had an opportunity to get it done. And then 1 year that you should have probably won the Super Bowl against the Patriots, you didn't even get a chance to get there. So you never want to, underestimate any appreciation or any type of opportunity. You got to be able to get there and you got to cash in because you never know. You may not be able to get there ever again, or it might be a long, long time. So. But I'll tell you what, especially us out here in the Pacific Northwest, being Ducks, Beavers, Huskies, Cougars, Blazers, and we don't have the Sonics anymore, Mariners, Seahawks. It's not always peaches and cream for us out here. A lot of times it's terrible, and usually for me, I got one good team out of the 4, between Bucks, Ducks, Blazers, and Mariners. It's not usually good for me. I usually have one good team out of 4 every year. I've never had a point where all 4 were good at the same time. And let alone being good and being championship caliber, that's a whole nother story. So, but I'll tell you what, when you can be a hardcore fan and, you can go through the ups and the downs suck, but once you end up getting good, those wins and those big moments are, you can't even put into words what those feel like, and that's what it's about, sticking through, through the good times and the bad times. And then no matter how long the bad times last, knowing that eventually things are going to get good if you have a good owner, good GM, good head coach, good OC, good DC. But again, if you don't have, good people at the top, you're never going to be good. So, I would rather have an elite GM, elite owner, elite head coach, and elite OC and DC over elite players any day. You can have elite quarterback, elite running back, elite wide receiver, elite tight end. It don't mean anything. It really doesn't, because again, if the O-line isn't doing their job, then that quarterback isn't going to be able to go through his progressions. Running back isn't going to get yards. And then you're going to have a Super Bowl where Tampa played the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes didn't even throw a touchdown pass. So it shows you, the offensive players will get all the popularity and the pub and the love. But the bottom line is defense wins games, defense wins championships. That's big facts. All right, Tampa, your turn, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Baker. Let's win this game. Shock the world. Oh, I got some sun chips, French onion. Ooh, yes, please. Let's go, baby. Go, Baker. Let's go. Yeah, I like Pierce. It's the first time that we've had a hire. Nice defense by Detroit. It's the first time that they've had an interim hire that actually deserved the job. And then the fan base believed in him, and outsiders, including me, believed in him because you saw the relationship that he had with Max Crosby, Devontae Adams. You saw, anytime a guy gets fired, it's one thing. You're going to get motivation from the players, to show that they respect their interim coach. And the record could have been better than 5-4, but you saw enough positivity, with the locker room and the players and the effort. And when you have a coach that sucks, not everyone's going to give 100% effort. I don't care what anyone says. It's just true, right? But when you have a coach that they believe in, everyone gives 100% effort. Some guys even give 110%. Pass incomplete. Intended tight end, Kate Otten. Well, it's pretty much going to be the Bucs and Saints almost every single year until Atlanta and Carolina can catch up. But again, you got to have the right owner, the right GM, the right head coach, the right OC, and the right DC. And the problem with Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons, they don't have that. So by default, the Saints and the Bucs are going to be rotating NFC South championship crowns year in and year out. And I'm the only team that's gone 4 years in a row. But the first 2 years with Brady, obviously, we're one thing. And then the last year when we got beat by the Cowboys, we were terrible, like 9-8. And I actually think this team is much better than that last year's team. And it shows. I mean, we beat the brakes off the Eagles. We're right in this game, and I'm not saying that Baker is overall better than Tom Brady, but, Baker is better than Tom Brady last year, based on how he's been playing overall. Yeah, I'm glad you got rid of Josh McDaniels, man. Some guys are just, OCs, and that's just how it is. So, and sometimes you got to learn that, like you're going to get a head coaching job, for Denver and Tim Tebow. It didn't work out. Now you got another job, but you got to be able to have, good pieces around you. And if you don't have good leadership and good pieces around you, it's never going to work. Nice punt there. Flag on the play. Hit him. Yeah.
Line there. They keep it in the backfield. Let's see the call.
I think they will take that ball on the 31-yard line.
Illegal formation. Offense number 8. Added to the end of the run. First down.
Ball to 36. As we step out with 8:11 to go in Motown. On time 10.
Yeah, but the thing is also, too, I think is when you're younger, you have more like hate. You're more of a hater towards like the divisional rivals and other teams, where it's like if you're a Saints fan, you're like, fuck the Buccaneers, fuck the Falcons, fuck the Panthers, fuck everybody besides, who's rooting. But, as you get older and you mature, you start to appreciate the division that you're in, and you start to appreciate greatness wherever it's at. So even though I'm a Buck fan, I got mad love and respect for Lattimore and Jordan and AK-41, and I like Chris Olave, Ryan Ramczyk. So even though that we're supposed to hate each other, and hate the other players, I mean, the thing is like, I'm never going to hate on greatness, because you never know when that player might end up joining your team one day, even though you may not be able to see it now, but all those people that were hating on Donovan McNabb, when he was on the Eagles, and then all of a sudden years later, he's on the Washington Redskins or Washington Commanders, Washington football team. Same thing with Carson Wentz. Washington was like, oh, fuck that bum. Just like Donovan McNabb, bum. Wentz, bum. And then a couple years later, that's your quarterback. So you never know how the tables will turn in the future. So if you can just appreciate greatness from afar, you never know, when those certain pieces might end up being on your favorite team and a player that you may have to root for in the future. All right, we're knotted up at 10, 8-11 left in the third quarter, baby. Let's go. 32, 68 to go. Let's get those likes up too. Shout out to everybody watching on Twitter/X as well. And if you haven't smashed the like button, please do. It helps the algorithm and helps analytics. We have 5 more from 20. So if you haven't smashed the like button, no, 3 more. 3 more until we get to 20. So if you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do it. It definitely helps with the algorithm. 3 more to get to 20. And then once we hit 20, let's try to get to 30. And make sure you're getting those on there too, Matt. You know, the likes and obviously with the donos. Let's go. I need more of these flavor twists. Original Fritos are always good, and you can get the scoops. But, I mean, these flavor twists, though, they're something else. Royal Rumble, baby. First down and 10. Goff. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Nice catch. All right, Goff, I see you. Go to your best player. They still need to get the running game going, but Tampa's defense has been pretty good. Yeah, I think most people are that way. You know, I think when you're young, you know, when you're in your teens and your 20s, you know, it's just one team, you know, and the players that you represent, and then everyone else, screw that, you know, fuck everyone else. But as you get older, you can start appreciating the greatness across the league, whether that be the NFL, college football, MLB, NBA, NHL, or even like in wrestling, you know, where you have certain guys that you might grow up, you know, this guy's my favorite, or this tag team's my favorite. And then as you get older, you start to appreciate other guys, maybe in other federations, instead of just being a WWE guy, maybe being an AEW guy too. So, or NJPW or ROH or Impact or wherever you have that love for wrestling or in sports. 3rd down and 1. Wide open. Get him. First down, Lions. Move the chains. Brock Wright. Nice play. First down, Lions. Nice play by Brock Wright there. Ben Johnson, great play call. Handoff to Gibbs. Tampa's starting to reel a little bit on the defense. We need a sack lunch, a fumble, a pick. You know, we need to get something out of the defense. And again, this isn't like, you know, Monty Kiffin defense with Sapp and Brooks and Lynch and Barber and Simeon Rice, where we had like 4 or 5 Hall of Famers. You know, like this defense right now, we got probably like 1 potential Hall of Famer, you know, and probably Antoine Winfield Jr. if he can stay healthy. And then we're going to have another one that'll be borderline in Levante David when his career is all said and done. So 2nd down and 2. Come on, Bucks. Little screen. First down, Lions. Sam Laporta, baby. Move the chains. Got an injury. Yaya Diaby, no. Get up, Yaya. Get up, Yaya. Nice throw from Jared Goff to my guy Sam Laporta. Top 5 tight end already. And it doesn't look like that's going to be something that's just a flash in the pan. You know, you're going to have Travis Kelce. You're going to have George Kittle. You're going to have TJ Hawkinson. You're going to have Mark Andrews. And now we're going to have Sam Laporta added to that mix.
how far away this place might seem, or how long it takes to get to the field.
Yeah, for me, I don't really have too many. Like I said, for me, like for the NFL, it's just one team. But there's also teams that I root for when they're not playing Tampa, and teams that I hope that have success. Growing up, I was a Joe Montana, Jerry Rice kid, so I'm always kind of keeping up with the Niners. I always loved Barry Sanders, so I always kind of kept up with the Lions and Megatron. But like when I was a kid growing up, my 5 favorite players that aren't Tampa players with like Sapp and Brooks and Lynch and Barber and Mike Allstott, if we're not talking about those guys, my 5 favorite were Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Bo Jackson, Barry Sanders, and Deion Sanders. Those were like my 5. So I only do one NFL team, one basketball team, Blazers, one college football team, Ducks. And then the only thing I can say is like I root for maybe 2. Mariners, obviously, I'm a Mariner fan through and through because I met, Griffey early, when he was a rookie in '89 when I was 7. But the only other team that I root for as if they were my own are the Dodgers because of my dad. And my dad's been a Dodger fan since the 50s. So other than that, that's really the only other team that I kind of treat, as like a secondary team because it's my dad's team and whatnot. But other than that, I don't have anyone other, that I follow as I consider as another team of mine. So. Let's go, baby. Got to find a way to get an interception or a fumble. We got to find a way to punch the football out. We've been doing a great job against Gibbs and Montgomery, but we have to find a way. Good game, though, 10-10. And it's not like the Texans and the Ravens when it was 10-10 at halftime, and then all of a sudden Baltimore, rifled off 24, and then the game was over. So, and then obviously we know what that Niners and Green Bay game, that was amazing with that 24-21 final. That felt like, you were on the edge of your seat pretty much the whole game. This one seems like it's, could be whoever has the ball last. And the same thing with the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. It may come down to whoever has the ball last will win. So Chicago Wednesday, Law and Order Thursday. Love me some Law and Order. Law and Order SVU. 5:20 left in the third quarter. We're knotted up at 10. Let's go. Shotgun set. Plenty of time. First down, Lions. Amon-Ra, St. Brown. Move the chains. Nice job. I see you, Jared. I see you, Amon-Ra. Move the chains. Nice job. And that's why it's always, nice when you come here and you watch a game. It'll never be biased, ever. It's not going to be a Buccaneer stream. It'll always be a Buccaneer and Lions stream. It's never going to be one-sided ever. Even when I do Duck games or Blazer games or Mariner games, we're always going to make sure we acknowledge the good plays on both sides. First and goal for the Lions. Come on, Tampa. Handoff. Montgomery. Down to about the 2-yard line. Let's go, Bowles. We need you.
Hand the football off. If we got to do it 3 straight times, we're getting a touchdown, running the ball, and it needs to come out.
Second and goal. Shotgun set. Goff. Good defense. Third and goal. All right, trick play incoming. Let's go. Let's see what kind of trickery they got right here. Come on, Tampa. Man in motion. Play action fake. Yes. Kick the field goal. Or are you going to go for it? I mean, do you think that you can't win this game unless you go for it right here? And they do. Touchdown, Lions, you tricky son of a bitch. Nice job. And sometimes you have to take risks like that where, you know that you have been kind of held, and you can play conservative, but sometimes, it's the second half, you roll the dice and you hope you get it. And if you don't, then the ball's at the 1 and then you might be able to get a safety. Nice job by Detroit there. Ballsy play, but a good decision there. Nice job. Touchdown, Lions. Nice play call. And again, when you're that close, and if you don't get it, you know that you're going to have the, defense, covering them on the 1. So sometimes, going for this play in the third and fourth quarter, is not a crazy thing. Now, if you would have done this in the first quarter or second quarter, it might have been criticized a little bit. But remember, we're in the third quarter right now. They haven't really been able to move the ball that well with the run game. You're that close. You might as well take a chance. And then if you don't get it, you might be able to get a pick 6. You might be able to get a safety. And then, the Bucs would have to go 99 yards to score. And realistically, when you get pinned at the 1, it usually leads to a turnover or a punt. So, I like the play call. Extra point is up, and it's good. 17-10 Lions. Nice job. Nice job by Craig Reynolds there.
I'm Laurie Caspian, and this is In the Know.
Nice job, Craig.
Did you ever think, I wish I could just look my opponent in the eye and say, I am enough?
I do that when I smack his face.
17-10 Lions. Weapons on weapons on weapons.
Neither is a long weekend. The Paycom employees do their own payroll, so you can fix problems before they become problems.
All right, Tampa, your turn. We got to rebound. We got to respond.
See you down the line.
Okay, someone just did laundry. No, it's been like a week, but I got Downy Light said.
But I'm glad the game is close. It's in reach. It's not a blowout. The only blowout we've seen so far is Baltimore and Houston, and that will be the only blowout that we see. I think, like I said, all other games are going to be close. San Francisco 24, Green Bay 21. This one could be within 7 points or less. Winner could be by a field goal to 7 points, depending on what happens. And then obviously with the Chiefs and the Bills, I mean, that one might come down to whoever has the ball last. And Buffalo might be able to squeeze by, even though their defense is suspect, but they're going to have the crowd, backing them. And they haven't been able to have a game against Kansas City at home ever. This is the first time. So, yeah, I think this one could come down to the wire too. But again, there's a reason why 95% of America, went for Baltimore, San Fran, Detroit, and Buffalo, all the home teams. It makes sense, but sometimes you're going to have one upset. What is it going to be? Is it going to be Tampa, or is it going to end up being something else? Or is it going to be, maybe Kansas City upsetting Buffalo? Because I'm not really sure if that's really an upset, because Kansas City, has just as good of an offense as Buffalo, but Buffalo's is better, and you got no Kadarius Toney, so you don't got to worry about the drops. And then the defense is better on Kansas City. Buffalo's defense is terrible, kind of like Detroit's. They play in spurts, but if you're comparing their defenses compared to everyone else that's left, Detroit and Buffalo by far have the worst defenses out of the teams left in the playoffs. It's not even close. All right, here we go. 17-10 Lions. Let's go.
Don't know if he's man of the year, but he's man of the minute right now. Earlier in this game, you're going to see Frank Brennan get rolled up on by his quarterback, and then with everything on the line, on 4th and 1, against Vita Vea, Brennan is getting ripped and shredded, and he stays and he keeps fighting, and then they roll into his leg again. And he will not be leaving. He was telling us he's been through so much losing here.
First down and 10. Shotgun set for Baker. Let's go. Man in motion. Oh, Lions are offsides. Offsides on the Lions. Let's go.
They've been running free for much of the night tonight. I tell you, this free safety look though has really begun to help the Detroit Lions. Getting C.J. Gardner-Johnson back. We've seen Kirby Joseph with big plays. Bellifonte with big plays in this.
First down and 5. Pound the rock.
Really giving this defense an uplift.
And if there's going to be someone open, take your chances. Play action fake. Good protection up front. Baker. And complete. Cade Otton, the intended tight end. Flag on the play. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Someone got there a little early. Or did he? And we got a player down. Who is it? God damn it. Injuries. Brutal. Holding on the defense. Let's go. Let's go, baby.
Well, first of all, the protection was good, so they had a chance to work one-on-one down the field.
Oh, yeah. That's a penalty. Come on. I mean, you're holding on to him for like 3-4 seconds. It's definitely a penalty. There was multiple penalties on that play. But again, in the NFL, sometimes they let that go. You know, it just depends on if they decide to call it or not. And there's usually holding on the offensive line in every game on every play too. So Rachaad White is injured. Great. That's awesome. Got to have him out there. Come on, White. Tough it up.
This is it. This is for the right to go to the championship game. This is everything for him as a player. Injuries don't matter. And right now, Baker Mayfield has a chance to make that kind of impression.
Let's go. Shotgun set. Baker. Chase Edmonds, gain of about 3 or 4 there.
Exactly what a playoff game should be. Nothing coming easy. Unbelievable atmosphere. Great physicality. Why we love the playoffs.
Come on, baby. Second down and 6. Shotgun set. Baker. Play action fake. Nice touch with that throw. First down, Bucks. Cade Otton. Move the chains. Yes, sir. Good job, Canales. I like it. Baker going to one of his favorite targets. You would think it would be more of a, Chris Godwin, but Cade Otton coming up big. First down and 10. Rachaad White still injured. That's not a good look for us. I mean, we're an underdog already as it is. Baker, pump fake. Took the hit. Wow. Are you kidding me? Cade Otton is a star, baby. Let's go. Matt Payton decided to leave for a quarter and disappear. Come on, brother. If you're lead mod, I need you to hear the whole game. Oh, boy, went to go take a shit, didn't come back. Come on, Matt. Where we at on the likes? Where we at on the donos? Oh, boy, turned into David Blaine and disappeared. First down and 10. 17-10 Lions. Shotgun set. Baker. Going deep, wide open. Let's go. Let's go, baby. First down, Bucks. Move the chains. Let's go, Cade. Let's go, Bucks. Shotgun set. Shitty throw there.
It's interesting, and I understand the play call because they're thinking, all right, they're going to double up on Evans. We'll go away from the quick screen. But they didn't do that. They didn't single on Evans. They couldn't come in, change the play, and go back to Evans. Just got to watch what's happening.
Let's go, Bucks. Second down and 10. Baker. Incomplete. Let's go, baby. Cade Otton. Let's go. Look for him.
We're seeing full screen Baker Mayfield and the way he plays the game of football. I mean, it just gets wild at some point.
Since the half down before the ball's out, would be a second. That's the one thing on that play. Very, very close.
There we go. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Rachaad White. Yeah!
What was the song? The Sounds of Silence? This play, and Mike, I think you're right. It could have been different if they had challenged this one.
Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's cook. We're cooking, baby. Extra point is up, and it's good. Yeah, baby. What's good, baby? Telling y'all. My dog, baby. Let's go.
It is close, Mike, but he is down. That calf is clearly down, and the ball is still in his hands. Detroit would have won the challenge had they.
Let's go. Reflect with a 3-er. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. $3 holla. Let's go. Baker's baking. Rachaad White injured. No problem. Let's go. We're right in it. Dang. I do like 10 things at once. So you're telling me that you can't be on the stream, text, and eat at the same time? I got 5 screens up watching the game, talking to y'all. I'm doing like 10 things at once. Come on, Matt. Let's go. Told y'all it was going to be a good game. Like I said, if you were going to get an upset, it wasn't going to be yesterday. You know, Ravens and Niners are the 2 best teams in the NFL. They had to get that job done. They did. These 2 games, you don't know what's going to happen. You know, like I said, I feel that Buffalo and Kansas City, you're going to get like a similar type of score also, where it may come down to whoever has the ball last may win the game for both teams, both games. So good football. That's what we want.
Here at the end of the third, there goes Gibbs.
Nice run by Gibbs. All right, we're in the fourth quarter now. Let's go. Reflect, what do you want to see for a photo?
You're watching the divisional playoffs presented by Intuit TurboTax.
Nice job, Rashad. My guy, baby. Let's go. End of the third quarter. We're knotted up at 17, which may surprise quite a few people. I'm not surprised. I knew this game was going to be close. That's the dude right there. And we haven't even got like a fumble or a pick or anything like that yet either. So I'm not saying that that's going to happen in the fourth quarter, but whoever turns the ball over here in the fourth quarter, that might be the end of them. You know, these turnovers are going to be more magnified, and we haven't had one yet, but I feel that we may have one in the fourth quarter. Let's go. Dogs. He's a lot better than people think. Appreciate you. No name Cade Otton turning into a name. He'll never be considered a top 5 or top 10 tight end, but he's definitely one of the top 16 tight ends. And the closer he can get to being, maybe known as a top 12 tight end, that'll be better for him. And it's obviously better for us Buccaneer fans. Let's go. Good shit. Good game. All right, come on, Bucks. I need your defense to step up. Nice catch. We need a punch out by Antoine Winfield Jr. That's what we need. We need a punch out and a fumble recovery. If we're not going to be able to get an interception on Jared Goff, we need to be able to punch the football out. Sack lunches, punch the football out, something. Yaya Diaby's fucking hurt. Let's go. There you go, Matt. There you go. That's better than eating a sandwich or talking to someone on text message when I got you on the game. There we go. First down, Lions. Josh Reynolds. What are we at the likes? Let's try to get to 20 if we're not there yet. Where are we at? We're at 20. Let's get to 30. 10 more. Gibbs.
Well, guys, I have to give you an update on Kayvon Merriweather, the Bucs safety. He was carted off the field during the third quarter, taken to the X-ray room. He has been ruled out of the
Oh, no.
with a right ankle injury.
Right ankle, that's tough.
Give it a go. He looked uncomfortable.
Elliott in the building. What's good?
He's out.
Special team for this team has a lot to hit. It's from Romulus, Michigan, not too far from here. Plays high school ball in the area as well. He's out.
Second down and 2. For anyone that thought Detroit was just going to blow out, Tampa, I knew Tampa would keep it close. Nice run. Touchdown, Lions. Nice job by Gibbs. That was huge. This is going to be a battle, man. Back and forth, back and forth. May come down to whoever has the ball last, just like in the Kansas City Chief Buffalo Bill matchup that we're going to be doing right after this. Nice touchdown by Gibbs.
Acceleration to the end zone, and after a wild sort of defensive battle, here we go.
Nice job, Gibbs. The most electrifying running back in the league, Jahmyr Gibbs. Extra point is up, and it's good. So, we don't hate here, You got to appreciate greatness. Because anyone hating on Gibbs is an idiot. Because if you're telling me you wouldn't want that on your team, of course you would. Can't hate on that. Can't hate on greatness. And remember all those idiots that said that was a bad move? That was a bad draft pick? Obviously, those people don't know a whole lot about football. Looking pretty smart right now. Nice job, Detroit. Stud. And if we were able to get a pick or a fumble or a little bit more pressure on Goff, the game would be a little bit different too. We really haven't been able to get sack lunches or picks or fumbles yet. So you got to credit Detroit. Keeping Goff clean. But again, we don't have the same personnel, on our defense as we did with the Brady era. This defense is a shell of itself. So, but at least we're hanging around. Yeah, he is the most electric running back in the NFL. I mean, name another running back that's more electric than him, game in and game out. I don't think you can. I mean, besides Christian McCaffrey, that's the best running back in the NFL. But if you take out Christian McCaffrey, I would say Gibbs is one of the most electric running backs, and it's going to be something that's not going to stop. He's going to continue to get better and better and better. And like I said, he's got that breakaway speed that even McCaffrey, we see the speed that he has. I mean, like I said, he's the best running back in the NFL, hands down. But if you're taking him out of the equation, even though Gibbs is a rookie, you can tell like he is going to be a staple of this team. And if Detroit ever gets to an NFC championship game, today, if they do it, or in the future, a Super Bowl, Gibbs will be a big, big factor in the game. Yeah. 4-3-2, unbelievable. All right, Tampa, we got to respond. And you're running out of time now, too. So it's like you can take a field goal, if you need to, or if they stop you, But again, that's like if they score one more time, it's over. If they get a field goal, it's probably over. So we have to find a way to either get it to be 24-20 or 24-24 would be preferred. But it's early enough where we're still hanging around. Now, if it gets to 27-17, it's going to be a hell of a lot harder looking up at the scoreboard, even though there is time left. But if it gets to 31-17, it's going to be a wrap. Most likely. Nice job by Detroit and Jahmyr Gibbs. Hey, he's a stud. All right, Tampa, your turn. Let's go. And then as soon as this game is over, we'll have a little bit of a break and I'll prep. And then we'll get right into the next matchup. We're going to go from here, right? Mike Evans and Amon-Ra St. Brown to here with Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, baby. Can't wait. Can't wait. It's going to be fun. 65 to go. We got, 10 more likes to get to 30. Great game, back and forth. Both defenses aren't great, but they have moments. Rashad, what happened to my hands? Come on, Rashad. What happened to my hands? Come on, Rashad. I need you, bro. But realistically, just being real, I mean, does Detroit or Tampa have a shot against San Fran? Like, honestly, and then does Buffalo and Kansas City have a shot against Baltimore? Honestly, based on how the teams sit this year, we should be getting a Baltimore Ravens, San Francisco 49ers Super Bowl. No one wants to watch, Detroit play San Fran and get blown out by 20. Or Buffalo winning and losing by 20 to the Ravens. Hopefully we don't have that in the NFC AFC Championship game. Hopefully we at least get one close matchup out of the two, but there is a possibility where we might have a little bit of a blowout in the AFC NFC Championship game. There's definitely different levels to the teams in the NFL. But it shows you if you can attack early and often, and minimize your mistakes like Green Bay did, you have a shot against San Fran. Baltimore has been that team that looks, they're on a different level. Go, Rashad! 4th down. Rashad White had a great season for me this year. Top 5 fantasy running back. 4th down and 4, especially in PPR. All right, we're going for a punt. Golly, man, we need to find something. We need something special. Desperation. Detroit's starting to pull away with a little bit of the momentum here, but we're still close. But Camarda, one of the best punters in the league. Look at that punt. Jesus Christ. Get that. Wow. What a punt. Wow. It shows you if you can get good special teams and you get one of the best punters in the league, it's not sexy drafting a kicker or a punter, but when they give you results like that, that's exactly why you draft them. Great job. All right, Detroit, are you about to put me and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the shelf? Hi, Paisley. I love you. Love you. Let's go. 24-17. Paisley's in the room hanging out with Dad. Misses Dad too much. She says, "You are my world, Daddy." Goff, little play action. Laporta, nice catch. We need a strip, a sack. We need a turnover bad. Let's go. Can I get a turnover, please? All right, Jared Goff doing Jared Goff things in the Goff fence. Sam Laporta being fantastic, top 5 tight end, even though he's hurt. 2nd down and 7. Ben Johnson. I mean, they got the best 1-2 combo at running back in the league. I mean, who's better than Montgomery and Gibbs in the NFL? I mean, can we think of anyone else that's better than that tandem for Thunder and Lightning? I mean, you could do like McCaffrey and whoever else, but I mean, as far as like equal talent of both being good at what they do, David Montgomery is kind of like the bulldozer back. Gibbs, you can throw it to him in the flat, and he's got that speed out on the outside, but I don't think there's a better duo at running back than those two. I mean, for a long time, it used to be like, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, but then obviously Chubb went down with the injury, and Kareem Hunt isn't really the player that he used to be. And then they had Jerome Ford, but I don't think there's a better duo right now than Montgomery and Gibbs. Win or lose, I'm not going to be a hater or a baby or a whiner or a complainer or an excuse maker. 99% of America thought Detroit was going to win, which they should. They're the better team with the better record. The only thing is, their defense is a little bit suspect, but again, home field advantage. will wipe away some of the weaknesses you have on defense, just like I feel with Buffalo. Buffalo may follow in Detroit's footsteps, against Kansas City. Kansas City got a great defense, but their offense a little shaky. So we'll see if Patrick Mahomes and that legacy, if he can end up beating Buffalo again, or if Josh Allen will get his flowers finally and get past Patrick Mahomes.
What do you think of the jacket? You look like a polar bear.
Could I get the 10-piece chicken McNuggets? Wait, no, Big Mac. Still here.
Get one favorite like a Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets and get another for just $1. Right now at McDonald's.
I love you. Paisley Pup, the love of my life. Meg 2. Yeah. And also the Lions have Penei Sewell and Ragnow, so they got 2 elite offensive linemen. It may not be the Dallas Cowboy line when they had 3 in like Zeke's rookie year, but if Detroit can end up getting another, player at guard or tackle on the other side, that's what they're going to be needing. Detroit needs more on the O-line, more on the defense. You don't need to worry about quarterback, running back, or wide receivers or tight ends. Every draft for the next 5 years should be O-line and defense and special teams, and that's it. Goff. Montgomery. First down, Lions through the chains. And at this point, when you're ahead, what do you typically do? You run the ball to bleed the clock, right? All the Tampa Bay players are just dropping off like flies. 35, let's get to a hundo. And what do we add at the likes? We need 10 more to get to 30. Shout out to everyone watching on Twitter/X. And I appreciate the people that are loyal to the soil. 10 more likes to 30. Wide open. Oh, my goodness. Come on now. Nice catch. First down, Lions. J-Mo. Yeah, Montgomery is the Mark Ingram. Kamara is the Gibbs. That is a good comparison. Strip it. Punch it out. And that's the difference between the Tom Brady, led team and even the previous teams, when we had Derek Brooks and Warren Sapp and John Lynch and Rondé Barber and Simeon Rice. It's like the guys that we have on this team, we only have a couple guys that can make the plays. You got Vita Vea, right? You got Antoine Winfield Jr. You got, Levante David, but like I said, you need more. It's like we don't have enough. Only player with 100-plus tackles, 15-plus tackles for loss, and 3 sack lunches. Levante David deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, but will probably get snubbed. Goff, he's borderline. There we go. It's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. It's my guy. I got a Levante David rookie jersey.
Try to pick up the blitz here, but I tell you, Levante David is like a running back. Look at the move. Just get on the edge and then spin them down. A play they had to have. Now they just have to back it up. A field goal is fairly deadly in this situation, too.
That was 3rd and 15.
They're down in 15. Goff. First down, Lions. And that's unexcusable. Right there, if you are a championship caliber, legit defense, right, you don't give up the 15 yards. That is a groundbreaking play, with any defense. You don't let them get that first down, But look at Zion McCollum. I mean, Zion McCollum ain't even close to being CJ McCollum, all right, and not even close to being in that McCollum level. That's unexcusable right there. You know, our secondary is not good. So it's like, you know, there's definitely, you know, you're going to be able to throw on Tampa until we end up beefing it up in the next few years. Look at that. Look at that. This is over. This game is over. It's over. It's over. How are you? Yeah, I'm doing this game, and then I'm doing the next game, the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. How are you? And make sure you're taking care of your mental health. Remember, it's very, very important. You only got one. And make sure you do the right things to be able to keep your mental health on track. Listen to music, take a walk, spend time with your pets and your friends, you know, read a book, you know, get out there and do things, you know, make sure you're not in the dark, you know, in a fucking man cave, you know, with all the lights off and the drapes closed. You know, like I said, if you want to be able to get yourself out of a rut and out of the gutter, you got to be able to put yourself in a position to win. 24-17 Lions. Let's go. Yeah, I go live almost every day. I mean, it's very rarely that I don't go. I mean, this is my full-time job, so I usually don't take days off, and if I do, it's, you know, pretty rare, maybe a couple a month. Nice. Good to hear. First down and goal. Lions about to beat my Bucks, which is no surprise. You know, we were an underdog going into this game like Green Bay and Houston. So, yeah, there it is. Touchdown, Lions. Jared Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown, baby. All right, I see you, Goff. I see you, Amon-Ra. And the game is over. OVA, not OVO. We ain't talking Drake. Look at that throw. Look at that catch. Touchdown, Lions. Nice job. There's a reason why I put you on the thumb. Hey, Tampa, we hung around as long as we could, you know, but again, when your defense isn't good, you know, you're only going to be able to hang on for so long. So, you know, and we're getting the outcome, you know, that most people thought we were going to get. We need to be able to see if we can, for pride, that we can at least get one more score so that we don't lose by 14 or more. But congratulations to the Detroit Lions. You know, now can you compete with the Niners? We'll have to wait and find out. Extra point is up, and it's good. There we go. Yeah, well, remember, the Lions have a 12-5 record. The Bucks are 9-8. We're not a good team. You know, the Packers got hot, you know, late in the season, and they were 9-8. You know, so the teams that should have won have won the games in the playoffs this weekend. So the only game that is 50-50 is going to be that Chiefs-Bills game, where that one might come down to whoever has the ball last. Yeah, but we don't got the personnel, you know, to compete with this Detroit Lion offense. It's not like we got Sapp, Brooks, Lynch, Barber, you know, Simeon Rice out there. You know, we only got like 2 good players out of 11 on defense. Hard to be able to beat a team that's got an amazing track record of offensive weaponry when you only got 2 guys you can count on out of 11. That's just being honest. And plus, Detroit's story is much better than Tampa's. You know, I mean, it's good to see Baker Mayfield show that, you know, he can compete, and he's found a home finally in Tampa. You know, but with Detroit, you know, not winning a playoff game in 30-plus years, you know, America and everyone, you know, including myself, even though I'm a Bucs fan, I mean, Detroit being able to have a little love after being that lovable loser for like the last 20, 30 years, it's great to see, you know, so it doesn't hurt my feelings one bit that we're going to lose this game. You know, I always, root for Detroit and root for the Niners, you know, when they're not playing me. And again, you know, if you look at my fantasy team, I had Rachaad White, I had Mike Evans, but who else did I have? I had David Montgomery, I had Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I had Sam Laporta. So I am not surprised by this outcome. Great environment there for the Detroit fans. Good for them. First down and 10 for Tampa. All right, Tampa, your turn. Now it's, the game is over. Now you're just pretty much playing for pride. There we go. Godwin. And that's another thing, too, with Baker Mayfield instead of Tom Brady. Chris Godwin is almost non-existent. And that's a big, big blow to that offense. When Brady was there, he would go to Godwin and Evans. When Baker's there, it's pretty much just Mike Evans and others. So Chris Godwin is too good of a player not to get the football. But unfortunately, that's what's kind of happened this year. If there's been one guy that's been kind of left behind in the offense with Baker Mayfield, it's been Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin is too good of a receiver not to get the football. Yeah. Now, if Tampa had a 12-5 record and Detroit had a 12-5 record, then it'd be a little bit different. Baker. It's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Good defense there by Detroit. No, like I said, I'm born and bred here in the Pacific Northwest. I live in Oregon. So all my teams are Pacific Northwest. I'm a Blazer fan. I'm a Ducks fan. I'm a Seattle Mariner fan. And Tampa is the only team that I root for outside of Oregon and Washington in the Pacific Northwest. So I was kind of like a Niner kid growing up, with like Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, back in the day, Steve Young. But I didn't want to be a bandwagon fan, after they won their 5th Super Bowl in '94 when I was 12. So I waited one more year, and I didn't have a connection with the Seahawks because I'm a defensive fan. I'm a defensive player fan. Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp, John Lynch. So I'm more of a linebacker guy, D-tackle, DN, corner, safety. So the Niners didn't have really any of those guys besides Dion. Seahawks didn't have any defensive players. I wasn't really a Raider fan or a Charger fan, so I decided to wait one more year when I was 13. And then the Bucs drafted Sapp and Brooks. And then I was like, you know what? I identify with these guys. They're hard-hitting, explosive defensive players, that I thought could be Hall of Fame, which they were. And then they already had John Lynch on the squad. And that's how I ended up becoming a Buck fan when I was 13. I'm 41 now, so it's been a long time coming. 3rd down and 14. Baker going deep and complete. And the unforgotten piece, the forgettable piece, the piece that should have been able to get the football, intended receiver Chris Godwin. You can't, not go to Chris Godwin when you have Chris Godwin on the team. 4th down and 14. Yeah, like I said, I never want to be a bandwagon, fan of anything. So, and like I said, if Seattle and the 49ers had defensive players when I was a kid, like good ones, yeah, maybe I would have went that route. But honestly, if I wasn't a Tampa fan, I would have been a Niner fan, just based off the Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Tom Rathman, Brett Jones, Romanowski, Dion, Merton Hanks kind of era. Baker, floater. 1st down. Bucks. Move the chains. Nice job, Baker. Keep fighting. Baker Mayfield. Mike Evans. Move the chains. But I'm good. Like I said, we've been to 2 Super Bowls. We've won both. I definitely had about a 12-year stretch where we were dog shit. I never thought we were going to get Tom Brady and Gronk and AB and Bruce Arians. So that Super Bowl was surprising to everyone, including me. But, like I said, I'm a small market team. Tampa's not a big market team. So, it's going to take a while for the team to get good again. But at least we beat the shit out of the Eagles and, 31-17 with a chance to see what we can do here at the end of the 4th quarter. But let's be honest, I don't know if there's any team, Tampa Bay, Detroit, Kansas City, or Buffalo, that's going to match up against the Niners and the Ravens. The Super Bowl is going to be the Baltimore Ravens versus the San Francisco 49ers. That's just the bottom line. As good as Detroit is, their defense isn't very good. They're not going to match up against the Niners very well. It could get ugly. And then obviously with Buffalo and KC, now that they match up better with Baltimore than the Lions match up with San Fran. But again, if the Lions can get that offense rolling, they may be able to keep it close, for a little bit like Green Bay did. And then they might be able to squeak out a win. But we'll have to wait and see what happens in the NFC Championship game. But what a great story for Dan Campbell. And honestly, I would rather have the Lions win than Tampa, because if Tampa wins, it's a shocker. You know what I mean? But it's like no one believes that they're going to actually do it with this team, whether it's Baker Mayfield or Tom Brady. The Lions story is better than Tampa's story, especially for a team that hasn't won a playoff game in like 30 years, and they finally did it last week. So keep the ball rolling, and the Detroit Lions are going to be a team that is going to be very, very good. But guess what? Never underestimate the power of Baker Mayfield to Mike Evans. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Let's go. Hey, with the Eagles, the main thing with the Eagles, right, is you got to make sure to realize that the coordinators, right, the coordinators need to stay. Once you guys lost Steichen and you guys lost Gannon, it was over. And it shows you the coaches are more important than the players. Let's go. And the Eagles, you would think, would be back. It's not like they're going to be terrible, but it shows you, you should have won the Super Bowl last year. And the reason that you didn't is because you guys couldn't get defensive pressure. You have to get at least one sack lunch and one pick, and you weren't able to get that. The Eagles should have won the Super Bowl last year, and then this year you guys went 10-1, but then imploded. And like I said, and it's all about having an identity on the team and having to figure out if Sirianni is the guy or not. But losing the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator was huge, and it was much bigger than people anticipated. So Johnson is good. Two-point conversion. You mean Ben Johnson? Detroit's OC? Oh, you're talking about Brian Johnson on the Eagles. I thought maybe you were talking about Ben Johnson. You were flipping the script. I mean, they're gonna end up shaking it up. So again, you got to be able to find, coordinators that are going to be reliable. And then also too, you got to have the right players that aren't going to give up on the team. It just kind of felt like, when you guys brought in AJ Brown, everyone got really, really excited, right? And as you should have. And he definitely led you guys, to the Super Bowl. But then this year was good early in the season. And then as the season kind of went along, the chemistry between him and Hurts started to fade a little bit. There was a little bit more tension on the sideline, and then A.J. Brown got hurt. So, I feel that most of the pieces are there, but again, coordinators aren't easy to replace. So, with defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators, but again, losing Steichen and Gannon, it shows you, going 10-1 and then completely imploding. I don't know if I've ever seen something like that before, but, Philly is always a resilient squad. And obviously with the Eagles fans, they're one of the number one supporters here on the channel. I started this channel, right in that run where they had Nick Foles. And I was like literally the only one that predicted the Eagles were going to win with Nick Foles and win big. I predicted they were going to win by 9 or 10, and they did. And then Eagle fans have been kind of, riding with me ever since, because I'm not biased. I just kind of call it how I see it. So. Yeah, they're going to do that for everyone. They're going to do that for everyone, because you know how the Eagles fan base is. If you're going to throw snowballs at Santa, like I said, you're going to have good fans, you're going to have bad fans, you're going to have passionate fans, you're going to have toxic fans. And one thing is for sure with Eagle fans, they're really passionate, but sometimes the passion kind of goes over the wall and it kind of goes more to toxicity, where it's like, you just want to be able to, kind of root for the same team and the same, squad together. But it ends up being where you get a lot of angry people, kind of going off on each other, and like I said, there's a lot of expectations if you're a Philadelphia fan in general. So, but, Philly fans have been riding or dying with me for a long, long time. So, and like I said, for us to beat you guys up, I mean, it was not really a surprise. It's like you guys went 10-1 and then went on a big losing streak. So, for Tampa to win that game, does that mean that Tampa was like an amazing, good team last week? No, we just took advantage of your guys' team not having an identity and kind of imploding on itself. So I don't really take that as, oh, Tampa was so much better than the Eagles. It's like the Eagles actually had probably more talent top to bottom. But, when you don't have chemistry, continuity, and you don't have an identity and a belief, in each other, then you can go from 10-1 and implode after being to the Super Bowl. And again, most teams that go to the Super Bowl, the next year they don't. But again, when you go 10-1, the belief that, oh, Philly's going to get back there again. But it really does show you, how important the head coach and the coordinators are. It's better to have an elite owner, elite GM, elite head coach, elite OC, elite DC over elite players. Because even if you have Jalen Hurts and you have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and you have all these guys, if you're not on the same page, it doesn't mean anything. 31-23, Lions. Yeah, well, Philly sports is, I don't want to say it's cursed. They're always going to be competitive. But again, I know a lot of people, for the Philadelphia crowd, and I understand what they are, and again, they're going to be extremely passionate. They're going to be extremely vocal, sometimes in a negative way, and not everyone is going to know football. Some of them are going to know more than others, you know what I mean? But eventually, hopefully things will, turn out good for you guys. And again, once you guys get the coaching and everything lined up properly with Lurie and company, whether Sirianni is the guy long-term or not, you might have to blow it up and try to find someone else, down the road. But, the core is there, with what you got, with Swift, right? Gainwell, Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts. Now you're going to have to figure out, a replacement for Jason Kelce now at center. So you're going to be looking in the draft for that. And then the defense needs to improve. The Philadelphia Eagles have always struggled in the secondary. It's like up front, you got all the Georgia draft picks. You got Fletcher Cox, even though he's getting older, Jalen Carter. The linebackers need to be better, even though Hassan Reddick, was probably one of the better ones that, that you picked up in free agency. But the secondary is always the bugaboo for Philadelphia. It's not like Brian Dawkins, Weapon X, is roaming back there. He was my favorite player in Philadelphia history for you guys. So even though you guys had Reggie White, but I've always liked safeties and linebackers. That's like my favorite position. So I always look at the game differently. Most people watch the football, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and they follow football. When I watch a game, I watch the defense and I watch how they move. And I'm still keeping my eyes on the football, but there we go. It's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Let's go. Yeah, but Phillies too. It's like when you ended up bringing in Bryce, there was a change, but it shows you how competitive it really is. And so you were the underdog, and then you ended up getting all the way, to the World Series. But you got to think how many Cinderella stories end up with a happy ending. Every year in NBA, NFL, NHL, and all the four major, organizations in sports, we're going to probably have about 10 to 20 Cinderella stories. But out of those 10 to 20 Cinderella stories in March Madness, NFL, college football, college hoops, NBA, MLB, NHL, how many actually end up raising the banner or holding up the trophy at the end of the day? Maybe one or none. So it's like, it's a really good story, but sometimes you got to crawl before you walk. And you got to keep building the squad. But I do like the direction, of the Phillies and where they're going. And it wouldn't shock me if they can end up getting a World Series and a pennant under their belt. Obviously they had one with Ryan Howard, and it's been a few years, and they're waiting for another one. And I feel they're getting closer, but it's very, very competitive in the National League and in the American League as well. Good defense there. 35. Let's get to a hundo. 65 to go. Yeah, and like I said, I follow every team as if it was my own. I mean, when I do streaming, like I've been doing this channel for 12 years. I've been on YouTube for 8. I stream pretty much every day, and I usually take about 4 to 6 hours of reading and doing film study every day, because I have to treat every team as if it were my own. So that way I'm not being biased, and that way I can connect with every single fan base. No other YouTube streamer puts in that kind of dedication to have that kind of connection and vibe with the other fan bases. So I might not be a Philadelphia Eagle fan myself, but I guarantee I know more than most Philadelphia Eagle fans based off the time that I've put in, and I can find ways to connect with every fan base, regardless of who it is and where they are in the country. 31-23 Lions. 2nd down and 7. The Bucs need a pick 6 desperately. Let's go.
And those are verbatim quotes. Listen, you good, man? All right,
Yeah, but even though Tampa beat up, the Eagles, I think almost anybody was going to beat up the Eagles. It's like, it's like you get to a time, if you're not doing very well in December, chances are that's going to carry over. That's why usually Super Bowl teams, go 3-1 or 4-0 in December. If you go back and look at the records, it's very rare that you see an NFL team go 1-3 or 2-2 in December and they win it all. It just doesn't happen. You have to be hot and you have to be healthy. And it's not necessarily being the best team in the NFL. It's like when you get to the playoffs, hot and healthy sometimes will beat best record in the playoffs, depending on the scenario and where the game is being played. 3rd down and 11. Big play here for Tampa. But I used to watch with Randall Cunningham and Jerome Brown and Keith Jackson. I've been watching, since 85. So again, I might look young, but I'm 41. So, I got good genes. Good defense there by Tampa. Could you imagine if this goes to overtime? We'd have to get a 2-point conversion. Should have just taken the extra point. Yeah, but still, even me being as a Tampa fan, I recognize that my team isn't good enough to compete against the Niners, let alone win a Super Bowl this year. This is not a Tom Brady-led team that has Gronk and Bruce Arians and has all these amazing pieces. You know what I mean? Like, you have to recognize, as a fan, if you're good enough. And honestly, the story of Detroit advancing is better than Tampa. Tampa is just trying to play spoiler and go further than people expected, right? But it's not like anyone would think that Tampa can beat the Niners. The Lions would have a better chance to make it a better game. And for their city and all the suffering they've had, I've won 2 Super Bowls, in 2002 and a couple years ago. So I've already got my 2 Super Bowls and my 2 wins. Detroit has nothing. So sometimes it's good, to see the new blood, succeed and exceed the expectations, even if it comes at the cost of my own team. And that's why, I think people fuck with me because I'm not biased. Like, even with my own teams, I'm always going to call every stream right down the middle. It's never going to be a Buccaneer stream. It'll always be a Buccaneer and Lion stream. And we're going to make sure we're going to give credit with both teams. So, that's just how it goes. I might throw the K. Dotton up, the Baker Mayfield, the Mike Evans, but we're also going to make sure that we recognize greatness on where it's at, with Jared Goff and the Goffense, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Aiden Hutchinson, Sam Laporta, and even guys that step up out of nowhere, guys like Craig Reynolds. So, big facts. And we can't forget about Jahmyr Gibbs. Stud. Electric. Not JT in the building. What's good?
If it's COVID, tax a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not everyone is going to agree with me, on every take that I have. And like I said, my opinion may change, over the years, depending on the development of the team and whatnot. But again, there's no other YouTuber or Twitch streamer that is going to be able to put in as much work, because like I said, when you talk to someone, and if you don't know shit, especially in sports, right, you're going to easily be able to be called out. So if I don't put in that time and that energy to be able to connect with every single fan base and every single team as if they're my own, you're going to get called out and people will know. And that's why usually people aren't going to be able to call me out, because I feel that I'm going to know just as much as anyone else on their favorite team, maybe even more. But again, it's something that I do. And when I was a kid, again, when everyone else was playing Nintendo or Atari or Sega, I was doing that. I was playing with my G.I. Joes. I was playing with Transformers. I was playing with my Ninja Turtles and my wrestling figures, but I also collected sports cards heavy, and I would always look at the stats on the back. So I was always a stat and analytical guy, even when I was like 5 years old, 6 years old. I'd look at the card. I was like, oh, cool. Then I'd flip it over, and I'd be like, oh, okay, 6'2", 220. Oh, he went to Arizona State. Oh, okay, 30 home runs. Oh, he batted .310. And I remembered that. So I kind of have like a Big Bang Theory, Sheldon kind of brain, except I'm not doing like equations, on that scientific level. It's just like sports stats and analytics and memories and keeping all those stats and those facts in my head. It's like crazy. Some people can't remember what they had for dinner last night, and I can remember something from when I was 4. Nice little check down to Mike Evans. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I had to make sure we hit you with other than Baker and Jared Goff. We had to go with two studs and Mike Evans and Amon-Ra. And then obviously we're going to be going in and tapping into this game here shortly. Let's go. Intercepted, and the game is over. Now, again, if this was like a Tom Brady-led team and we had a similar record, then obviously I want to be able to get mine. You know what I mean? But when you know that you're 9-8 and the Saints should have, been in the playoffs over the Bucs this year. You know what I'm saying? And look at Detroit. They played clean. They got 2 picks on Baker. One was a tip early in the game. And, like I said, it wasn't a blowout, 7-8 points. You know what I mean? But the better team ended up winning the game. And America is going to be happy. Not just the Detroit Lions fans, but every fan that's not a Tampa fan, is going to be happy that the Lions advance. No one wants to see Tampa and the San Francisco 49ers, honestly. And I'm being 100% real. I, as a fan, would rather see the Lions play the Niners because the Lions actually could win, even though they probably won't. Tampa would have 0% chance against the Niners. The Lions are going to have at least like a 30% chance. It's not good, but the Niners are going to be 70%, 80% favorites, 90%. You know what I mean? And it's history. We're able to see bite kneecaps and Dan Campbell. And it shows you if you're real and you're genuine, people will naturally want to follow you, but you have to buy in. You have to be able to buy into what's being said, and that's why people buy into me. And that's why people buy into Dan Campbell. And I'm being honest too, because like I said, it's like, how can you be a Tampa fan and not want to win? Because I got fucking Baker Mayfield. We're 9-8. Do you really think that this team can win it all against the Niners or the Ravens? Hell no. Plus, and the Super Bowl, if you're having a Super Bowl party, or watching a stream, because I'll definitely be doing the Super Bowl, it would be a terrible Super Bowl to see the Baltimore Ravens and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or the Niners going against Tampa. No one wants to see that in the NFC Championship game. But Lions and San Fran, that's kind of sexy. You know what I mean? But San Fran and the Bucs, that's not sexy. That's just like, oh, the Bucs are going to get blown out by 20, which they probably would. The Bucs would have 0% chance against the Niners. At least the Lions are going to have a 10, 20, 30% chance. So yeah, GG to the Lions. Great job. And honestly, what's going to be better for legacy? It's going to be good for Goff to get the legacy. Amon-Ra for the legacy, right? Aiden Hutchinson for his legacy, right? Sam Laporta, his legacy, right? And Jahmyr Gibbs. So, you're not going to hear me cry, bitch, moan, make excuses. But I guess I'm built differently than every other fan that's out there. You know what I mean? The wins are great. The losses hurt. But again, I'm not a hater, so I don't need to talk shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a fan of the league. I'm a fan of greatness, and the best team and the better team won. Congratulations to the Detroit Lions. Home field advantage. So all 3 home teams won. So are we going to make it 4 out of 4 with the Buffalo Bills? And that game's coming on here in 17 minutes. So I need to end this stream and prep for the next one. I already made the thumbnail. So I'm going to be live here in about 17 minutes. So I'm going to go check up on Paisley real quick. And then I've already taken the time to make the thumb. And then we're going to be here. Kansas City Chiefs, Buffalo Bills, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. Will Josh Allen finally get over the hump and beat Patrick Mahomes? Most likely. Not guaranteed, though. And I'll be live here in just a few minutes. So shout out to everyone that donated, commented, shared. I appreciate you guys very, very much. I love you and appreciate you. Take care of your mental health. And I'll be back very, very soon. Final score, Detroit Lions 31, Tampa Bay 23. Detroit advances to the NFC Championship against the Bang Bang Niner Gang. And now the Ravens wait to see who's going to win between the Chiefs and the Bills. And I'll be live here in about 16 minutes. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Orion, Northwest Sports Fanatics. If you want to Venmo me something or Cash App, you can do it on the next stream, brother. But I'll be on there in just a little bit, and I'll message you here privately with the Venmo information. So I love you guys, and I appreciate you very much, and I really appreciate you coming in as well. I love you, and I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Orion, Northwest Sports Fanatics, live in 16 for the Chiefs and the Bills, and I'm out. Okay.